Hello and welcome. The
Oh,
Kill Team Casuals are back. It's been a little while. Lots has happened. There's been a little hiatus, but we're back. We've managed to scrounge up two of the three, and I'm joined by the legendary Russ from GFN Gaming. Welcome, sir.
hola, amigo. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for welcoming me to the podcast as I welcome you, sir, to the podcast. It's Reese from Threes to Wound and other projects. You know what I mean?
Just happy
How's
to
it going,
be.
sir?
I'm good. I've been anxious to get to this one. I've been wanting to speak about this team. We've done lots of over the past few weeks. We've been guessing and umming and ahhing about what this kill team means. It's been the interesting box set. We're talking about, of course, the Terror of Devlin, which has been the interesting kind of surprise box set that dropped out of the woodwork.
It is a little bit, isn't it? I feel like you're more committed than most because I believe you're actually taking them to some. You're committed to using them, I believe, soon in an actual tournament setting, which is more than most. So you more than anyone need to do this episode just so we can learn what the team do.
It's the only
anything,
reason
you know
I
what I mean?
turned up. Yes, I'm heading to the Purge up in Sydney very, very soon. I think it's in about 2.5 weeks. I'm very excited to get up there, and I've decided I'm going to take them because the moment now we've seen the rules, and this is a little bit of a spoiler to what we'll get to. The good news is they're not broken. They're not awful. They're not oppressive. So now I don't feel like a scum rat if I take them early on in their journey.
I mean, for other reasons, a scum rat, but definitely
Yes.
not for taking
Just
not
team
for
selection.
taking the Spectre Squad. Obviously, yeah. I mean, it's the box that no one knew was coming, and now it's here, or well, soon to be here. It's weird. It's a weird team. I've got mixed feelings about the team. I admit to when they first got released being worried about a team with zero melee.
Zero.
I was
literally.
like, oh no.
One
Yeah, I
guy
was like,
with a
this
robot
team-
arm can do a bit of an every now and again.
He's actually not bad in combat. I was like, actually, that's pretty decent little left jab. Yeah, I was like, I'm worried about this team. I'm worried how a team with no melee.
Yeah.
I'm the reverse amount of worried is when I saw the goats, and I was like, oh
Ooh.
no, a team that's going to thunderbolt you. And then this team, I was like, oh no, a team that's got nothing. I was like, if you don't have melee, you've got not. Because I just looked at Kazakin and thought, that's worrying.
Yeah,
But I am pleasantly surprised, having had at least a game with them now
Well
and
done,
getting
sir.
the rules. I am pleasantly surprised by, what I thought they were initially lacking. They might have some tricks. They might have a few tricks, up their sleeves, up their robot armed sleeves.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Want to take a quick second, as always, to say a huge hello and welcome as well to everyone in the chat. Dr. Zero Hour, thank you so much. Subscribe for 11 months. You're the real MVP. We appreciate that. We got Echo in there, Jim Crimmins, Bramble, Drone, Denaga, Chris. We got John's over there on YouTube as well. So thank you so much for everyone for dropping in. I said, yeah, we did point out, a few people have pointed out that Ben's streak of not missing a show is not going as strongly as
Ben, I will never miss a show. Campbell has missed about 5 on the trot now. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say a big shout out to Chris Turn is it Chris Tur 87?
Chris Tur 87 in the chat. Yep.
Based on the comments, this has to be Turner, and he's recently won the much coveted painting award. He got gold place in the painting award for his Angels of Death conversions that were very good in Kill Team Lancashire recently. Kill Team Lancashire.
Well,
so I assume that's got to be Turner. In which case, well done, sir.
There
well
you
done.
go. Thank you to Gort, the Surf, and Jim for your subs as well. Really, really appreciate the support. All those little things help keep going to, us keeping the show ticking over. And, of course, to very, very important meetups because, Russ, you actually, believe it or not, those who know the show, we've been doing this for a long, long while. We, the three hosts, have never actually met in person until Ben had made the holy pilgrimage across to the motherland, the OG place of Warhammer, and you guys actually caught up and said g'day.
I know, yeah. So I met Ben Ben, the tiniest giant in the world, Ben Campbell. I met up with them. He came to York. Ben Denaga, you met him. Did you think he looked like he could be a giant that was shrunk to a normal-sized man? I feel like he's proportionately, like, his head, his hands. He is an 8-foot man with his head and hands, but he's been shrunk to, like, 6'1", 5'11". Like, it's weird. He's lovely. I love meeting him. But, yeah, I immediately thought that. I was like, this dude's massive. And then we took a picture next to each other, and I was like, I look tiny, like not height-wise, but like my hands, like my head. What is he? But yeah, very good to meet him.
I love it. Denaga, smallest 6'4" person ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
But yes, he came to York.
Yes. Yeah. And I was just absolutely very, very, very jealous. We'll have to arrange more games. But I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that you guys had a moment without me. That's fine.
We were trying to find the ugliest person in the bar that we could take a picture of next to and be like, Reese made it too. You know what I mean? Like, we were like, there must be someone that looks like they've been, I don't know, caught on fire and put out with an axe or something. Like, there's got to be someone we can find. No teeth. Like, I was like, come on, we've got to be able to find. But then no. And then we thought, I'll do it with AI. I'll just get a picture of you inserted, but make sure like something's jacked up on your face and be like, Reese made it as well. Yeah, but, you know, not quite. Next time.
Oh, I love it. All right. So look, I did see in the chat there as well. Jim was asking, will we talk about the Red Terror and the other stuff? We will cover that as well. We'll have a bit of a chat about the solo player stuff and the other operatives. But today, we're just going to do our favorite little rules read, because I need this. It's really about what I need right now. I need to pick Russ's brain. I need to pick the chat's brain. So thank you to Games Workshop, of course, for sending us an advanced copy, which means I should have already done my homework, but this is the time. There it is. There's the book. Look at that. Very pretty. We're seeing it live. Yeah. Before we get into the rules, though, we did discuss it a little bit in the previous episode. I still feel like this is one of those teams, like from a thematic, from a where they fit into the spectrum of Kill Team. It's still this team that's a bit strange, like, because we've still got Kassakin.
Yeah.
We've got Rattlings. And it's kind of like those two made a strange love child that no one wants to care for.
Yeah. That is, I would say that's a pretty damn good explanation, because Kassakin to me still feel like too vanilla. Like they're too vanilla to play. I can't play I was going to call him Vanakin. I can't play Kassakin. I've tried it. I played a couple of games. I sold my team. I just wasn't that interested. It's just
that's just how much you didn't vibe with them. You sold.
Yeah,
Get out of my house! I can't look at you.
Get out. I was either that or burn them, and someone offered money, so I was like, "You can have them. You've saved them from the fire." I don't know. Maybe if I kit bash the team and then Rattlings are like an abundance of like character. You can get the Ogrin, like it's all the ab-human. Like a full ab-human team is just what I wanted, because that's at least interesting. Whereas this just feels like potentially bolt action again. It's just humans with guns. Yeah. Which is a little bit not really fantasy. But yeah, they do feel a little bit more. Actually, I don't know if they are more colorful, flavorful than Kassakin. I think they to me feel like a team that I might sell, just because I like the rules though, but I'm just sort of like.
So if you'd like a bargain on a painted Spectre Squad,
you want a bargain. They are badly painted because I couldn't get into painting them. I've got them. I don't know. Maybe they'll go up on eBay soon. But the thing is, the rules are quite fun. Even though, and I was saying before to you in the green room. I like how we talk about.
We do. I love it. I love the green room
thing. But it does feel weird. Like, I don't understand the narrative reason for their ability. Like most teams, I feel like the narrative, like Night Lords in the Shadow, it kind of makes sense. Like most of the teams, the Umbral entities of the Mandrakes teleporting around. I kind of understand why each team can do the thing that it does, like burrowing Raveners. It kind of makes sense. The Aquilons drop in. This is the first team where I'm like, I don't really understand how they do their thing that they do, their interrupt. I don't really understand like why, if you're a normal human, you were charged by like an abhuman monster, you'd be like, actually, I'm going to go first because I prepared
I've lived in the woods.
earlier.
Lived in the woods
Yeah,
for a while.
I'm actually so prepared that like a 10-foot giant with a chainsaw running, screaming at me. I have to whoa. I go now. I just don't get how that works, like thematically. It's cool rule.
Yeah.
Don't get how it works thematically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If it was like maybe if it was more like it was like Raven Guard, you know, like kind of we were prepared, striking from the shadows, we've waited for you, you'd get it. But yeah, the humble guardsmen. And it's even that thing like, because I always can't help but look, because I play 40k as well, you may have heard. But like I always look at how they're going to slot in to that as well, because we all know that's what the start is, that they start in Kill Team and then everyone's in 40k is like, wait, when can I get my hands on them to chuck them across? And it's like, even within the sphere of the guard units, like you legitimately have Gaunt's ghosts. So those that are like, well, they're Gaunt's ghosts, it's cool. I'm like, that exists and they're very good. And then it's like, you already had things like little infiltrating rattlings. You already have like, they're in this weird spot of as a unit. Like, again, we talked about it last time. It's like, just give us, they could have been Catachan. And then I think it would have been, but the fact that they're just Cadians with art smocks on just makes me so much less excited.
That's what they are. It kind of looks like, you know, when you turn a shirt on back to front so you don't like get covered in paint. It kind of looks like they've just done that. And then they've tied a belt underneath their pecs.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I think I'm ready to take on the world. And don't worry, I'll get to go first as well. It's kind of a nuts rule, yeah. Interesting team. I think I still would have preferred like big old muscle daddies and muscle mummies of Catachan.
Yeah.
In my heart of heart, I don't think I'd be putting that team on eBay. But I like the rules. The rules are cool. And I think that is arguably the better deal. I'd prefer to have cool rules and models I'm not so keen on, because I most likely kit bash a team anyway, as opposed to rules that make me just kind of go, but
I still
guess
feel
we should
like
probably talk about the rules.
Yeah, we probably should maybe. I still think we definitely could have been. This could just feel still like a missed up, because this could have been a couple of Danaga just mentioned in the chat that Catachan would need a whole range refresh, but this is kind of how they did the Krieg refresh last time.
Krieg, yeah, this is what they did with Krieg.
They gave it in the Kill Team, and that was kind of like, does everyone think this is cool? And everyone collectively lost their minds about wanting more Krieg, and then they went, we're going to give you more Krieg. And I think it would have been, it just would have been cool just to see that. And look, it may still happen. As we said, this one does seem like a bit of a surprise out of cycle box, like out of the regular things. So it doesn't mean those other things we've been wanting and hoping and asking about, it won't happen.
Are these guys just... I think I'm sick of Cadians. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think these guys just look a bit Cadian for me, which is probably really a weird thing to say. But they've got, it's like, you know, when they give you Space Marines and it's just Ultramarines again.
Yes.
And I'm just sort of like, it's just like, I really just want, I want, I don't know what I want, but it's something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's, well, I know what I want. I want Catachan.
I felt the way with the new guard vehicles that have got released recently too, like as a guard player, like I should have been like, yeah, new vehicles, but I was kind of like, like there's something about Cadia and that the super the just the vibe and the aesthetic of guard right now just isn't floating my boat. Like I had a tournament, I just did a big Krieg army, and that was amazing. After working on the Krieg models, I even got like some of the Horus Heresy tanks that I then sort of kit bashed to make them Rogel Dawns. And there was something about that aesthetic that was just like, whoa. So then when I go back and look at Cadians, I'm like, meh.
There's something about that. Like having like custom vehicles is the best part for guard. Like when you just get like having all the different, having a tank and be able to have like, I know, people hanging off it, like jungle mesh over it and sandbags and like a heavy stubber gunner. It does feel like that would be how you'd want a Catachan one, but then Mordian Iron Guard would be completely different. And then did you see they redid the Vestroyans again? I feel like this is the second time they've done a made to order specifically for the... No, was it Valhallans last time?
Oh, yes, it was. The ISDS, the Valhallans. I think you're right. I think it was,
So this is really, to be fair, I don't think they need a refresh on Katachan. I just think they need to re-release the metal sculpts they had for Katachan because they were
Yeah.
good sculpts.
Yeah.
But like even the bad sculpts I liked for
Because there was
Katachan. You know,
something
the ones that look
endearing
like
about
Ultron.
the weirdness, wasn't
Yeah.
there?
Plus, in the official site, in the Games Workshop, they still had the terrible paint job
Yeah,
where they
and
all
I was
had like orange tans and eyes going like that. Like that was something I loved. Those ones, they were the best.
that's oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, it's there's something about character about all that stuff for sure. The things, but yeah, I mean, look, I mean, the good thing I do get with Katie and stuff though too, and the new guard, and even these guys, it's like they are a good base, and as you just said, you are then kind of, I guess, encouraged to make them your own. You know, you can add whatever you want. So this is just what it is, i.e., Ultramarines. It's an Ultramarine, and you can make it whatever you want. So I do get that, and it's not all doom and gloom. I'm very happy to have new teams. I'm still excited. Like I said,
team.
Team. And I like knowing that we know Kriegers are gone. I think it was Dr. Zero Hour said in the chat there are other human teams as well that are about to in the next cycle will cycle out. So all of a sudden we can be like, it's another human team, but there are some on the way out. So this does, I guess, help maintain some of the balance with making sure we've got 900 to 1 human to alien teams.
Obviously.
On the table.
Makes sense.
All right, let's jump in to the rules here and take a look at the list. Now, those who are watching either on the VOD or live, you'll note today we actually have pictures of the real rules, not my poorly taken potato can pictures. So I do apologize that you can actually read it today. So that's my bad.
I'm almost going to be disappointed that we don't have the terror. I think you should have taken pictures of these.
I was nearly tempted to, even after I was like, oh, I've got them. I was like, oh, they've got to give the people what they want.
It's not going to look as bad if I'm not taking a picture.
People are going to be able to read this. It's like the perspective's not warped. All right, so we'll look at the makeup of the team. So first up, the archetype, infiltration and recon. So very thematic and some pretty good choices
that makes
there.
Sense.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, I think them. As we'll go into the team, I think if you're taking this team, and again, I read through it briefly, and I'm sure there's some people who will suggest different options for you.
Yes.
But I think scout enemy movements is a really good option for this team because everyone in the team has access to a silent weapon. If you want it once per turning point, which means you can still do a scout when in conceal and then still take a shot, because the only restriction is obviously not doing so you're not, you know, when you're like normally doing scout any movement, you're like, okay, so I have to be in conceal. If you've got no silent shooting, you're going to be like, well, this guy's not going to be taking an offensive action, whereas now you could be like, I'll scout him and shoot him. If you've got those two, you know what I mean? Like, it gives you some options.
Don't scout him and then shoot the guy who just scouted as well.
Don't scout and then immediately shoot the scout. But like, as long as you don't shoot that guy. And plus, they do have a load of ways to strip some AP from your opponent. Well, 2 ways to strip AP, which is a really interesting way. I quite like. I quite like that. It's a decent option for them. I think. I'm sure there's others, but you know.
Yeah, a thing to do as well, if you haven't, obviously, Russ was just saying there too, if you do want to see these guys in action, make sure after the show, after you've watched this, head over to GFN Gaming.
Go now, pause.
Come back to us. We'll wait.
And then we'll wait. No. There is a battle report with them up against Mandrakes, which when we started it, the guy, Connor Meach, was like, I actually think Mandrakes will have a tough game into this team.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was an interesting game, but they do have funky moves. They can't just be immediately wiped out in combat, which is interesting because I thought that's what would happen, basically.
That was my concern when I saw the matchup. I was like, oh, what if they just get in there and slice and dice? But yeah, it's definitely worth watching. There's some tricks, and obviously we'll be able to cover some of those as we go through the rules. But they can kind of hang around, which was cool.
It does feel like they've been built with an understanding that they lack melee built into their rules, to be like, how do we make a team that isn't melee understandably escape melee teams. So I think they've done it in a way that gives them some abilities, as opposed to the Kazakin that had a little bit less, a little bit less in terms of getting away from melee teams.
Well, that was it. The Kazakin fix was like, well, we'll give them combat knives, which kind of makes them not the absolute worst, but it was like, but it still doesn't help you survive. It just means you get to do 2 damage or 3 damage on the way out or something like that. It was like, it doesn't fix the problem. Lots of praise in the chat too for your bat reps, Russ. Some of the best in the biz for sure.
Oh,
top 12 at least. Top 12 at least.
Easily top 15. And there's about 14 kill team channels out there doing stuff. So
you're in the mix. You're definitely one of them.
I'm there.
You're one of them.
I'm propping up one of those corners for sure.
I stand on the shoulders of giants. All right. So the operatives we've got we've got one veteran sergeant. We've got the Vox relay beacon, so you must take those 2. And then you've got to choose 9 operatives from a range of specialists. There's the medic classic, there's a grenadier, a guide, a gunner who can choose between the melter gun or the plasma gunner. You can only take one of those as well. Just be warned, no sneaky double gunner. But you do then get a heavy gunner, a loader, a sharpshooter, a stub gunner, so really another gunner variety, a trooper, and a Vox operator. This was the next choice, was the funny one when your bat rep was, how did you choose between the las rifle and the las carbine? So pretty much most
I
operatives...
don't think we showed it.
No, well, you mentioned your choice only like retrospectively.
So I set up and when I was playing the game, I just rolled a d6 and I was like, oh, okay. So 1, 2, 3, I've taken the carbine. 4, 5, 6, I've taken. So I just rolled it, and then it immediately became apparent that I'd done the worst choice ever because it's a team that you can increase the APL of quite easily. You got a lot of 2 options. I keep saying a lot of options. You got 2 ways to increase your APL, but I was going to say that's more than most. So if you've got a bunch of operatives with 3 APL, don't give them the gun that means you can only shoot if you move, because then you can't charge, fight, shoot. So I was like, ugh. So I missed a trick. So I think there's a winner. Even though lethal 5's great to get, I think you go for the rending option, which is not heavy reposition. But that's only after 1 game. I had 1 game and I was like, I do kind of think I would prefer the maneuver, the ability to have charged, fought, and then taken a shot, because I think that would have been something I should have done. But,
especially considering there is a few sneaky things you can do with some charging shenanigans and bits and pieces. So I've just popped them up on the screen there. So las carbine, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 2-3 damage with rending, versus the las rifle, which is 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 2-3, heavy reposition only, and lethal 5 up. So it was
lethal 5 up or rending was what I was thinking in my head, but I just left it to chance.
And it's like lethal 5 up, I do get, especially with las weapons. I understand I want to push it through, but when you're dealing with a team that wants like maneuverability and versatility, being sort of stuck to the heavy reposition, like lethal 5 up isn't that good that you're gonna kind of want to, you know what I mean? Like
it's not good enough to you. Yeah, it's not good enough that you would sacrifice all your shooting, especially because the damage, if it was 3-3 or 2-4, I'd be like, okay, this is worth not being able to move afterwards. But it isn't. It's the same damage profile.
That's
that's
it. I reckon maybe if it had have been that lethal 5 up with an extra pip of damage on the crit, I would have been definitely been. It would have felt like there was, but that trade-off to me just seems a little bit. And I was like, is that things often when you read new rules too? I'm like, what am I missing? Maybe some smart player is going to go, oh well, of course you take this because it does this. But I was just like, I couldn't quite see it. I'm glad I'm not the only one. All right. So that means So basically, it's technically an 11 operative team, but obviously the Vox relay beacon, which we'll cover a little bit later, isn't really an operative. It's more of a fancy piece of equipment. I'd say more than anything else. But
well, it's insignificant, so it doesn't count towards kill op or anything like that, or no tac ops can be scored against it. So it gets deployed as equipment.
yes,
In your so it's
as I
it
said,
doesn't really count.
definitely more like your higher operative sort of, I guess horde team, but not like your classic guard. You know, I said do miss
10
having
operatives.
that idea of being able to chuck in maybe 2 regular troopers for 1 specialist would have been still all right in this list. I still wouldn't have minded. I do
That's
like
interesting, yeah.
little bit of versatility with the list building sometimes to go, I might forego X to have a few more numbers, because especially with this team, with the way you operate, you are trying to sort of out activate. Could have been pretty cool to see. All right, we've got their special rule here, which is elite fieldcraft. Hold on to your butts, because there's a bit here. We'll try to simplify
it is 3 cards.
Yeah.
Double-sided. No, like it's the most annoying card ever. 1 card is double-sided, the other 2 aren't.
Yeah. So you
it's
just
like,
end up...
this could be 2 cards. It's like, why have 3 cards at all? This is 2 cards if you follow your own rules, but they don't.
Do you know what it reminds me of? You know, in Microsoft Word, when you put a picture into text, and everything
that's 100%. That's 100% what it is, because the second card has got like such a small amount of text. I'm sure they could fit that on the back of the first card, but they don't. It's 3 cards, one's front and back, the others aren't. It's so crazy to me. Just if you're going to do front and back, have 2 cards, front and back. I don't understand why you stretched it over to 3. It's like, first card, front and back. Second card, single side. Oh, is there only 2 cards? No, make it 3 cards. That'll freak them out. It's like when they don't do, like when they do everything not alphabetically, it annoys me. The only thing they do alphabetically is the operatives after the leader, and everything else, like the strategic ploys, even though they would fit, having ambushing volley first, it's 3rd.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't understand why. Just have them alphabetically.
They just know how to get you, mate. They know how to trigger you.
I just don't, but like, it makes no sense why they wouldn't see, like, they've abandoned the alphabet in every place apart from the operatives. And when it makes no sense, like, they'll have the trooper before a specialist just because trooper comes before Vox operator. Whereas arguably, you would think trooper, if you were going to just abandon anything, he would be at the end. You would have the specialist
That'd be your last
listed.
choice. Yep.
And the thing is, you'd have the specialist listed alphabetically. I'm going to check now live to see if this page has them alphabetically.
Please.
A, B, C, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Yeah. So this has them alphabetically.
But not everywhere else.
But everywhere else. But yeah, crazy. Anyway, crazy.
So there you go. So that's elite fieldcraft is where they bamboozle you by not making things alphabetical, but sometimes they are. And sometimes things are on too many cards, and sometimes they're not. And that's their special.
I find this nuts. Oh, we're on it. You've got the cards. You've got the cards on the stream. For a second, go down to the next 2 cards, please.
All right.
I just want to see if I was right. Yeah. Look how small that is. Look, that 3rd card could easily
fit it on the bottom of the other one.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't.
And look at this gap
crazy
here.
To me.
Look at the gap on this one as well.
Well, that's where it could be. I just don't understand. It makes no sense. It is literally like you said, like they've moved it up in word art, and it's just gone. And now they're like, oh, well, I'm stuck with this now. I'm not going to. Heaven forbid, I double check this. We've got a deadline. And then we're gonna, anyway, amazing. Let's read it out though.
All right. So your operatives in the ready step of each strategy phase, you gain 1 fieldcraft point, or 2 if you have the Vox operative in the kill zone. So you do lose that if they die. So keep note of that. And also the Vox operator can't be within control range of an enemy. At the end of each turning point, discard your fieldcraft points. So spend them if you got them. After an enemy operative that has the engage order performs an action during its activation, you can spend 1 of your fieldcraft points to interrupt that activation. If you do, what's happened?
There's a message on the post that has just been held for a sex-based term because Jim Crimmins says, "Time to grab butts."
Please Jim, allow that instantly.
I'm allowing it. I'm allowing it, buddy. I'm allowing it, pal. You know, we've slandered you too much in this pod already. I will not have your comments also restricted, sir.
Held back.
Carry on. Hell, not for you, Jim Crimmins. No chance. Not no more. Anyway, carry on, Reese.
So after an enemy operative that hasn't engaged or performs an action, during its action, you can spend one of your fieldcraft points to interrupt that activation. If you do, a ready friendly operative that isn't within control range of any other enemy operatives can perform a free shoot, excluding guard, dash, or reposition action. You cannot interrupt each enemy operative's activation more than once per activation, including guard, and each friendly operative cannot perform more than one free action per turning point as a result of this rule. There are a few more caveats on too many cards, so we'll just get to those for you, Russ. If it is the shoot action, you can change that friendly operative's order to perform this action. You cannot select any other enemy operatives as a valid target during that action, being within that enemy's operative's control range, but no others doesn't prevent that friendly operative from performing that action, in which case follow the rules for point-blank shot from guard action. If it's the reposition action, that friendly operative cannot perform that action again during the turning point. If it's the dash or reposition action, that friendly operative cannot end this move closer to that enemy operative or your opponent's drop zone unless it's that move ends wholly within your drop zone. In a kill zone that uses close quarters, ignore wall terrain when determining rules. Determining closer. Oh my God. And you can tell what I just blacked out. That's a lot of words. But let's break that down because there is a wall of text and we've lost Russ. I think I killed him when my brain just shut down then.
Sorry, I'm getting weird beeping sounds that make me think my headphones are gonna die. So
that was
a lot. That was a lot of stuff. Basically,
Bramble scratch. Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed. That is exactly right.
And imagine if you had to read that and you read the card number 1, you turned it over and it continued. Then you picked up card number 3, turned it over and it stopped. You would probably stop reading and be like, oh, that's the end of that. No. So there is another card in the deck that also continues. And that's probably got the most important bit. Anyway, to basically summarize it,
please,
twice per turn, if you've got your Vox operator, so you got 2 points, you can, after your opponent's done an action, do an action. And it's funky. I like the way that they specify. So it's a team that's, I guess, the moving part of this makes a lot of sense to me because it does feel like, and again, they've got an operative, their guide who gives you bound in your half of the board, or if they're within terrain. But it makes you feel like the team has scouted the layout of the land. So it's interesting if someone's about to charge you, for example, and you know that you are 3 inches away, if they are just going to get into charge range, and they're positioning up, or if they're going to move and then shoot you and you're in concealed, they move and you're like, I can get out of your range or into cover with a dash, and then that means that next turn I can still move. Because you can't, obviously, if you've dashed, you can't dash. If you say I'm going to reposition, you've got to be very deliberate and say I'm just going to dash here. Because if you say I'm going to reposition here, you then can't reposition in your turn. So it's a team you've got to be deliberate with. But I really like that aspect of it. I think that's a really cool, like, I've scouted the land, so I'm going to do a move here to get out of position and stuff like that. So it's really funky. But
so confirming the reposition is only the once. You can only do reposition once per turn, but dash you can use multiple times. So could you dash with the fieldcraft and then still dash in your turn?
No, I mean, like, you could, if you do the fieldcraft thingy, you can dash.
Yeah.
Which means obviously when it comes to your turn and you wanted some movement, you can still do your reposition.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it basically, if you say during your fieldcraft interrupt, I'm going to move here, you got to be deliberate. Don't say I'm going to move here. Say I'm going to dash here if it's a dash. And if you say I'm going to reposition here, then you can't move if you've already used your move and your interrupt. So it's
And it's interesting
that you've got to be deliberate.
That just being able to get out of because so often, especially with this team, because there are benefits to being in cover, so that classic of teams moving up to get that within 2 inches to remove your cover.
Yeah.
That dash is actually, you might go, oh, dash, is that really that good? But yeah, that a lot of the time, you obviously can't use that reposition or that dash. So if you are charged, you are still technically stuck because it's happening at the end of the at the end of that, whatever that action is that you're interrupting. So if they've
Yeah,
charged you, you
you
can't then
interrupt.
go, now I'm going to move. But obviously then you do have the option for the point blank shooting as well from guard, which is pretty handy.
Yeah, so it's important to note they do actually have a firefight ploy that's dodge, which does mean you can disengage for one, but it has to be used in your operative's activation.
Yes.
So you can't do it as part of an interrupt. So
Yeah.
you can't do that, but you could obviously, if you survive after point blank shooting or whatever it is you do, or fighting.
Yeah, and again, there's some. We'll get to it too. Obviously, some ploys that can help your survivability a little bit in close combat. You won't kill anyone, but you might not die. So it's
I think that's what the basis is. Yeah,
Yeah.
survive. That's kind of their thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's a really handy one, but I said I can definitely see for both you and your opponent getting the maximum use and the value and understanding of this one will probably take some time. Because there was one moment in your bat rep, I remember, Russ, I was watching, and it was kind of like you interrupted with an operative who was like on the other side of the battlefield taking a shot, and it's those kind of options are actually there. It's like, it doesn't, like, often you'll be like thinking it has to be the unit that's technically going to be in danger, but the fieldcraft lets you pick the operative. So picking the right weapon for the situation or the right operative, it's pretty handy. Or taking that opportunity to move something to set up the next thing can also happen, whether it's a dash or a move to set up your next shot. It's a little bit Battleclade reminiscent in some ways of, it's nearly like out of activation movement and shenanigans, as opposed to thinking, don't always necessarily use it reactively. You can actually use it to set up as well.
Yeah, Meech was not happy with me during a lot of that game. See, the thing is, love Meech, but he was not happy with some of this. He was like, "This is absolute filth." And the thing is, it's one of those teams where, and it's a team that feels like it's anti-casual, because it's hard to play a casual game with. Again, it's like the guard that Phobos can do. You do feel sort of like the whole point of this team is setting traps. And the thing is, it was a good one, because I got Meech drew it out of me, which was a good thing. He basically had something he knew he wanted to do, and I was keeping a fieldcraft point to be able to stop him doing that. But he baited me with a worse interaction for himself, and I took the bait so that he was able to do his move. So it does feel, like you said, very reminiscent of Battleclade, in that it's a team that has a very specific way of doing things. You play against them differently as you do to every other team, because as soon as someone's gone, they might go again. And this is a team that has that mechanic built in. But even worse, they are potentially going to be able to get a double go, because you move, they interrupt, kill your operative, and then it's their turn again.
Yeah.
So they're a team that you can be behind and then suddenly be up ahead. Like you can be behind on the kill op, and then you get basically 4 interactions in a row that go your way, in that they move, you interrupt and shoot, you activate, do something and kill. They do, you interrupt and shoot, you then activate. Like, that is legitimately what could happen. You could just absolutely swing the game. And I think it's going to be a very frustrating team the first time you play against it, even maybe the second time you play against it. And it's going to be I would love to see how they do. I know Dakota's team, their squad games, did a game into Angels of Death. I haven't seen it yet.
Definitely go check it out. I watched it. It's worth watching. It gives you a bit of an idea of how they go into elites and how to run that way, for sure.
I think that's it. I'd love to know how they go into elites, because I took the melter into my game just because I built the melter, because I thought it's an elite meta. The melter is going to be absolutely insane in this team. 4 attacks, hits on 3s can be made to double shoot, can interrupt. You can't, as long as you've got a fieldcraft point, you can't just get rid of your melter, which is such a problem in a team, the human team, where you're like, how do I deliver the melter? You can pretty much launch this guy up the board in your turn, as long as you've got 2 fieldcraft point, or even 1. And the first if you don't get first activation, they go, okay, as long as they're not already looking at it, obviously, because then you have to interrupt something. So they move to shoot you. You can just move them if you really want to, or dash behind a bit of wall. But you can leave them out there to bait someone. So someone moves up to a vantage. You just go, dash. Great. You've gone on engage, and you're now out in the open. fantastic.
Yeah.
Sniper, then shoot. Like, there's so many traps like that. But I think the first time you play them, you'll see those traps, and then you'll be like, I hate this team. This team sucks. And then you'll learn how to play against them. But it's a hard team.
Yeah.
It's a hard team to play into. Like, if you take the traps that are set for you with this team, like I say, like for that example, you go for a shot early on, they're either going to shoot you first or, like I say, dash out of the way and leave you out of position, which is the worst feeling. I didn't do that to Meech because I like Meech.
You're a good guy.
But I'm a good guy. I mean, actually, no, I think I did it once, but it's still harsh. Like, it's still harsh, and it does feel bad. It's a feel bad team to play against, really.
Yeah, it's Leaks Veeks on YouTube just said, I really don't like these anti-fun mechanics that fundamentally break an element of the rules. And there's a little bit of there's a little bit of that this team does have, that where it's like, I'm going to do this. No, you're not. We talked about it with Necrons being very, very good at that. Those teams that are non-interactive, I think is the term you use, when they just basically don't want to engage you. They don't want to play the game the way, I guess, the core rules should say the game is meant to be played. Yeah. But it's a double-edged sword because, as you said, all those traps, all those things you're trying to set up, once an opponent understands those fundamentals, it then gets a little bit easier to break those traps. And as a player, I know myself, when I take them on the table, I will also trip myself up trying to get too big brain with it as well. You know, like, often I'm going to do all this, and then cool, then that melter does move there, but they've set a trap for you where it's like, you dashed into that thing. Cool, now you're in charge range or something like that, and now that point blank Overwatch for your melter, that you go, I get to do this, but you're still now hitting on 4s because it's a guard action.
I think that's the way you do it. I think there's stuff like that where you're like, but the thing is, that's so much better than a team that, like a Kazakin, that you've got to really, you might not be able to deliver the melter. Yeah. This is a team where you'll always be able to deliver the melter. It's just your opponent has an option to reduce your effectiveness, which is, it makes it feel like it's not as terrible. Like it's not horrendous. They've got a couple of like the fact that they only get 2, I think that's decent. They don't carry over. It's only going to happen twice a turn, and it'll be brutal both of those times.
You're not saving them for turn 4. I've got 8 elite fieldcraft points.
Yeah, I was going to say, imagine that. And the thing is, you can make it so that they will have 1. Yeah. Like, you can really push forward and try and get their Vox operator. And I mean, without going into it too much, their Vox operator, you're always going to take advanced camo, which is an equipment choice that gives you super conceal, and you have this dude at the back in concealed, unless you can get behind heavy, but you just have him almost untargetable because you want that extra feel. Like, it's the only time, I think, where a team needed to keep an operative alive. No one's ever needed to keep an operative alive more than this team to get that elite fieldcraft point, because having 1, I do think this team gets railroaded. 2 makes it so I think they have enough punch, because they don't have any melee, really. They've got a couple of things that'll keep them alive in combat, but they do. I don't think it's super overpowered. I just think it'll feel bad the first time it happens to you.
Yes.
which is kind of rough, but like, I don't think it's overpowered. The team is not ridiculously powerful.
Yes.
I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are.
Oh, look, I think it's like anything. In the hands of a very skilled player who's got reps in with them, I think they can be truly, truly very, very good and very awful to play against. But I think at your mid tables, your casual tables, which is where we live, I think they're going to be I actually think it'll be more fun and interesting. There'll be moments of, well, that sucks. But I think those, well, that sucks
at
moments.
Least 2 a turn.
Yeah. I think, well, that sucks moments will also happen both ways, because these guys will get to their stat line, but only 5 up save, 8 wounds. Like, they're not that survivable. So when it doesn't go right, an elite team can pull them apart very quickly. Things like Goremongers, Felgor, I think would be a very tough matchup. Teams that are able just to absolutely send it in their face very quickly. Yeah. They're the teams that
I was going to say, if you charge more than 1 operative, this team might. I think it's a team where you charge lock. Yeah. It's what happened to Felgor into Star Striders, where they just charge you and they don't ever fight you. They just stay in combat. Yeah. And then kill, charge to the next. So yeah, it does feel like a team that you have to try and push forward, because if you don't, I do think if they take enough bodies mid-line and then start charging multiple models, the trick only saves 2 operatives.
Exactly.
And maybe you've got that. It depends on how much CP you've saved, so you can use another to get out. Like I don't think that's by any means. And like you say, a 5-up save isn't saving very many people in shooting.
No.
Like as soon as you start shooting, you're gonna get shot back. So every shot that you take has to count, which you hit on 3s pretty much across the board, so you should do some damage. I was going to say, it's so hard. I've been playing so many teams that hit on 4s that are quote unquote shooty teams. Like Battleclave was a team I was using a lot, and they do feel like another Battleclave, but hitting on 3s is just nice. I don't think but like not being not having to play an elite team to be able to hit on 3s is also nice.
Yeah,
I do like that. Yeah, a squishy team that can still shoot is kind of, I guess that's Kazakin though, isn't it? So we weren't missing them, but with a little bit more flavor than Kazakin, maybe. Maybe that's fair to say.
And this team, you can probably tell, again, I know we've talked a lot and we're just on the faction rule, but this is a lot of like, once we get in the Operative, you'll see how this all falls into place. But it's like, again, this is definitely a team to me that seems to be like as the current game is, they're a late game team. You know, that first 2 turns, you're really setting up, you know, you're really going to be getting board position, because then in turns 3 and 4, then it's all about you engaging on your terms as much as possible. You want to be initiating, or you want to be baiting out with guys to be like, okay, yeah, look, you might kill this operative, but if you do, then you're going to be standing there, and that's when all the traps and the retaliatory stuff is. So they definitely seem to be a long term. Would you agree with that they're more like we're playing late game versus scoring quickly and early?
I think so. I think they are. I think, you know, I'm trying to think how I would play them, because I know you're going to try and be playing them soon. I do think.
So if you tell me the wrong thing now, it'll be hilarious later. I get it. I understand.
God, I'm going to do it.
Speaking of setting traps.
After you come back from the tournament, like, I didn't win a single game, and it'll be like, and that's how it's done.
And that's elite fieldcraft, baby.
And that's elite fieldcraft. I interrupted your success with death. But yeah, I think they can be a team that scores really well on the missions. Whereas, to be honest, I think they can do it all. I think they can do kill. Yeah. Because they've got obviously anyone with a melter, and like pushing out Dev 3 on a sniper, and they all get access to Dev 1 potentially. So there's a lot of chip damage you can do, which is great into elites. Like, I do think they've got enough kill. I do think they've got, because basically the entire team gets bound, you can get to mid-board and your home objective pretty comfortably. Yep. It's like, so you can get objectives pretty easy. Can you stay there? Maybe not so much with a 5-up save and 8 wounds. Like, that's the danger. Like, can you stay there? Maybe not, but you can interrupt. So it's not like if someone tries to run into a room in Volcus and you're in the room and they end the room trying to shoot you, they're like, I'm going to run here and I'm going to throw a frag grenade because you've left me 3 bodies within 2 inches. They run in the room and you're like, I'm going to melt you now. 4 attacks hitting on 3s, AP2, Dev. You know what I mean? Like, Dev 4, like, that is legitimately like, you set that trap and you'd be like, don't take the bait because I will melt you. And then it's like, take the choice. So like, they could do it. They could easily do it. It's going to be annoying. And TAC Ops, like I say, I think they've got some good options because their TAC Ops, Infiltrate and Recon, you don't have to engage for them. Yeah. You can if you want, but you could just play an annoying game where you hold back and just literally go, come to me. They come to you, you kill them unless they go full send.
That's it. Unless it's all like every operative.
If they drip feed operatives into your lines, you will absolutely mop them up because you'll just be able to interrupt and stop them in their tracks. So I think it's great. It's going to be a good game if that's how they play into it. If they drip feed operatives into it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it will be a tough team to play into. I'm not sure how I would do it successfully.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how it's going to be a team that you have to play against a bunch. Yeah, you're going to be you'll be like, well, somehow 3 people managed to absolutely wreck me in a tournament. So obviously there's people out there that can do it. Like, I'm sure they can, but I think it'd be like when Battleclade came out, like I say, I'm sure they won 60% of the first. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they must have been a great win point because people are like, oh yeah, okay, they can do that. That
You do
sucks.
what? You
And
do
it's going to
what?
be the same. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know currently how you get away from their ability. Whereas Battleclade, at least you know, don't leave yourself as a viable target for that operative because you can still go again.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a bit more. It could come from anywhere, so it is a bit
100%.
harder to deal with. I think so. Yeah.
We'll quickly cover as well. They do have one bonus faction rule. Don't let, if you thought fieldcraft wasn't enough. But basically, if they've got camo cloak. So if you're retaining a cover save, you can retain an additional one. Or you can make that into a critical success as well. So
I think this is actually really good.
Yes.
I felt bad that I didn't do this enough. But I do think with a 5-up save, 2 cover saves against a lot of teams that have 4 attacks hitting on 4s, they're only going to get 2 hits.
Yep.
I think you would arguably not take Obscured and start and take more cover saves.
Yeah.
If you're being shot, just to be like, I'm gonna realistically, I don't make any saves on average.
Yeah.
So I just take 2 cover saves. I don't care if you're, you know what I mean? So I did this wrong in the battle report. I remember taking an obscured shot and said, you can be obscured for this shot. And I was like, I should have taken cover because I would have got 2 cover saves. And in that scenario, I would have been fine, but I died.
Yeah. There's lessons
I do
learned.
think this is good.
And see, that's what I was saying. This is the double-edged sword of this team. Each mistake does seem to hurt you a lot more. Like each mistake is not, oh, my Space Marine lost 8 wounds. That's a dead operative. Now I'm down 1,
I was going to say,
you know? And I said, yes, they're technically 11 operatives, but they're really 10. And as we'll sort of see from the letter, most of them are a special of some description, which helps the team and all the bits work together. So as you lose those operatives, it definitely hurts. Let's jump in and have a look at some operatives. Speaking of, we've got a veteran sergeant here up first.
Funky Robot Arm Man.
You may know him as Funky Robot Arm Man. Sorry, he's
Trevor.
Let's go. Sorry, I can't. For some reason, it's cut it off at the top. There he is. There's our man.
No.
There we go. So the veteran sergeant. So the stat line 2 APL, so not a super special sergeant with the extra there. 6-inch move, 5+ save, 9 wounds. So he's got the classic extra wound.
Classic extra wound.
Classic. He's got a scoped las carbine, so slightly better on his shooting. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 2-3, lethal 5-up, and rending. So he gets the meal deal.
He gets the best of both.
Yeah.
He gets the las carbine rifle, basically, without the heavy.
The double. Then he's also got the bionic arm. So we touched on this. He's your surprise little bit of close combat. Literally punch is the word we'll use there. Yeah, he's got 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3-4. And again, you might see a little sneaky combo a little bit later of you can actually turn that up a little bit too to be.
Yeah, he's a decent shout for doing 7 damage in 1 punch or something ridiculous. Like that's not bad.
So some lighter operatives, or definitely guaranteeing some kills, or maybe an opponent who thinks someone you won't be able to take them out that way. And again, especially with the APL buffs you have access to as well. His gun's not bad, so some potential double kills. That's all we're saying against in the right moments.
He's up there. You might want to take cracks with his team.
Yes. He's also got issue mission. This is a 0 AP action. So select 1 expended friendly operative, excluding the beacon, visible to this operative that hasn't interrupted any operative's activations. With fieldcraft, this turning point, until the end of the turning point, that friendly operative can do so, even though it's expended, taking precedence over normal rules. However, if it does, it cannot counteract during the same turning point, or perform the reposition action if it has already done so. So this is effectively giving you a 3rd fieldcraft point, but also you
still have to spend a fieldcraft point, I believe.
Oh, do you? Ooh.
Yeah. So even though it's expended, so if it does, it kind of. So yeah, I think select 1 expended or visible to that hasn't interrupted. until the end of the turn without friend number can do so, even though
There
it's
you go.
expended.
So you do still have to use a point. See, good catch.
I think anyway, I'm not 100% sure. Because normally an expended operative is not an option. So you could expend an operative, and then this guy could be like 0 AP. This guy's still able to use my field points and then move on base. That's how I read it.
Yeah,
but I
think
wrong.
you are correct reading that again. It makes sense too, in that it's more like just keeping that operative as a fieldcraft threat, so your opponent can't be like, I can ignore them now. They're not gonna surprise me. Again, a bit like Battleclade, meaning that if the operative can see you, there's a chance if you don't do something about them, they could shoot you again. They could move into a position, do something dangerous as well. So, and again,
this feels like
go.
No, I was going to say this feels like a good, if you might use this guy as your second activation if you get the first activation. I feel like if you set up to do the first activation and they've maybe pushed forward and you've got a melter that can take a shot, you take a melter shot, and then your second activation, presumably they ignore the melter now because he's gone. You can then reactivate the melter for free as long as this guy can see him. I think it's C.
That's
just visible. So you just do that on them for free and then carry on your business. Just means at the end of that turn, if someone then decides to move to take a shot at him or charges into him, you've still got an option. And I think because it's a free action, it's kind of good that way, because you can just be like, okay, he's still in the mix. If you try and shoot him, he might dash out of the way, or if you charge into him, he might point blank shoot you still. So worry about him still, kind of basically.
I definitely like it that it's 0 AP. I think that's a smart play, because it really would limit this operative or having to always, this is not necessarily the operative you're wanting to AP boost, but he's a hand, so like having that basically makes him in some ways a bit of a 3 APL operative anyway, because you always do the action and then he can stay engaged within the game as well, which is really, really good. Then we've got...
This guy is never your first activation. Well, he shouldn't be your first activation, because you're basically wasting that entire 0 action AP point, aren't you?
Yep. Next up, we've got the Medicae. So this is your standard medic operative. So he's got his, obviously the choice between the las carbine and las rifle. He's got your standard, if you die from shooting nearby, he can obviously res them and they get to dash away. And he's also got...
Nothing new about this dude.
Yeah. 0 AP on the med kit here, which is interesting for 2D3
I didn't see
healing.
That.
0
I didn't see it was 0
AP.
That's actually kind of funky. I did not see that.
Yes. I was like, interesting. And I'm like, maybe is that a typo? Maybe that's not deliberate. Wait, is it in the book? But I was like, does that make
interesting? It is
him one of the best medics around, just based on that?
Makes him a 3 APL medic, basically.
Yeah, because that's a move.
Technically a 4 APL medic if you buff him as well.
Yep.
A move dash shoot med kit, maybe.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was very, and 2D3 is good in this team. I mean, the only catch here is, and I always look at this with medics, it's a bit sad. I think this is probably your matchup dependent operative. I think into a lot of elite teams, he may not be the go because they're probably 1 or 2 shotting you anyway. But against teams that are doing lots of chip damage, or shooting teams, which you can therefore take advantage of the res, of being brought back to life. If you're up to against a very, very choppy team where most of your deaths are going to be getting, from cut up, might not be. I don't know. I said we'll talk team composition later, but for me, he's probably the one of the operatives that might be on that fringe matchup dependent. But 0 AP for healing is very nice.
That's not, I mean, the within 3 inches having someone not die is, again, like you say, if you're into a shooty team, that's pretty good because you're outside of blast range.
Yep.
So that's pretty decent. You put that guy next to your heavy gunner, maybe, because your heavy gunner will die because he basically can't move and shoot. So he has to basically be up there to take a shot. He's not doing any moving.
No. And
really.
It's also another good one too for an aggressive melter, as we talked about before too. If you do that, imagine if you can somehow combo, you've got the aggressive melter, that you then also do the fieldcraft after he's expended. Then he does still die, and then you bring him back to, like, you can really make it pretty frustrating for your opponent.
It's a possibility,
if you're good at the game. That's the catch. So you have to be good at the game.
That's the catch. And your opponent, by the sound of things, has to be pretty terrible at the game to let all this stuff happen. So if you are basically clubbing seals, kill team wise, great, I guess.
You've earned this.
You probably don't need this team specifically. You probably do with any team, really. You probably still, yeah. Anyway, the Grenadier.
The Grenadier. Take us to the Grenadier, Russ.
I mean, he's not. It's sad to say. There's between the Medicae and the Grenadier, we've seen it all before.
Yeah.
He's got he can take the grenades for free. He's got a melter mine, which is a great. It's 2d6 plus 3. The proximity mine. Do you know what annoys? I don't want this just to be the things that annoy me, but do you know what kind of annoys me about a lot of the Grenadier characters? It's called a melter mine, and then the next thing says proximity mine.
Yeah,
and it says the first time your melter mine, so it's a proximity melter mine.
Which is it?
Yeah, pick a lane. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing about, like, are you going to be alphabetalizing things or not? Because this is not it's a proximity mine. And every game in history of is proximity grenades, there's melter grenades, then it's not the same thing anyway. It's just, it doesn't need to be its own rule.
No, again, you could combine those two.
It
should just be an extension of its
second paragraph of melter mine. Because if you're looking for the words proximity mine on anywhere on the data card, they don't exist apart from on this. Like, you're not referencing anything else. But yeah, I mean, it's a great operative. It's a really good choice for your 3 APL early doors because you can move, dash, and crack for free, or move, dash, drop your medic mine. You get the free reposition, the free dash away if you've dropped the melter mine as well. So pretty decent. I mean, it's a great operative. It hits on 3s because it's a Grenadier and it's hitting with an AP1 crack grenade if you need it. So I think he's probably in every one of your list because he's good against hordes and he's good against elites. So out of this, you think the Medicae might always be coming to the battle. I think the Grenadier is probably always going to be coming to the battle.
Yeah. So with this guy, technically, hear me out. Could we move, if we've APL boosted him, move, dash, place the mine, then we get to dash again, and then in your opponent's, is that correct? Can you double dash?
No, you're still
a free. You are still restricted.
It's still action economy. Yeah, you're still like a one per activation.
Okay, I was wondering, like,
so you can perform a free dash, and then it doesn't cost APL, but it's not free as in you can't action limits still.
So if you effectively move dash to place the mine, you're stuck next to it. But this operative doesn't set off his own mine, which is interesting as well. Yeah. Not all of them have that wording. Some do.
That'd be hilarious.
So
he made a mistake when he said it, and now he's dead.
Didn't say he was good at his job.
Idiot.
Well, because that's what I was wondering, like, could you like move, dash, place, dash again, and then do next turn, do a fieldcraft and
That'd
dash again? I was like, imagine that.
He's done 3 dashes this turn. It's like, that's insane. No, alas, no.
The good thing with this guy too, as well, obviously, like all Grenadiers too, which especially with the crack ones in particular, hitting on 3s again because he's a Grenadier. So again, the consistency of this team overall, as someone who genuinely rolls pretty poorly, that's I will take.
Sorry, just saw Naga's peep show reference. 3 dashes, Jeremy. That's insane. Amazing. 3 nans. Anyway, next operative is the guide.
Yes.
I think the thing is, I found this guy, once you've taken him, you don't need him, but you need to take him. He's one of those operatives. He's like the operative, like it's good. Like what he gives you, scout terrain is a great rule, and you'll use it a lot. But once you've got him, he's kind of he's like a nothing operative.
Yeah, he's a regular Joe after that, isn't he?
Yeah. He's kind of rubbish, but he doesn't get the good rules that the troopers get, which we'll cover when we get there. So this guy, any terrain features within your territory or within 3 inches of this operative are considered scouted for your friendly operatives. So and then once in each of their activations, so each of your operatives activations, they can do one of the following, which is either ignore the first vertical distance of 2 inches it moves during one climb if the terrain is scouted, so any terrain in your board in your
or
territory,
he's within 3 of. Yep.
or within 3 of, or open a hatch for 1 less AP if the access point is scouted, which is great. I mean, that alone is a reason to take the operative, because that means it doesn't even mean while he's alive. It's just you take him, he scouts the terrain and says, okay, all the doors, you're now, for turning point 1 of this game, you're 3 APL.
Yeah.
Which is great for all the doors.
Huge.
You know what I mean? Like, all the doors are in your territory. And because you've got 2 Vox operators, you're 3 APL in the first turn. So you move, open a door, and maybe you go on guard with a whole bunch of operatives. But then you've got next turn, you've got 2 operatives that are also going to be 3 APL again.
Yeah.
But it's that alone is a great rule. And the other thing he gives you, which is prepared kill zone. So you can take an additional equipment option. It can either be an ammo cache or one of the terrain features equipment. So you take him for the 2 buffs he gives you, but after you've taken him, he doesn't really, apart from positioning him next to terrain to get
which
bound,
you'll definitely forget to do.
yeah, 100%. You
or
will forget
use it again.
Yeah. He's kind of just a normal dude, but a little bit worse.
Yeah.
But I think this is an auto take based on those rules alone. They're going to be so useful in, as you said, setting up turn 1. So you are in a great position turn 1 to like late game be like, well, I'm in a great position now, so you have to play the game, and I'm just reacting to your game.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a great position. And then whilst you're trying to do your game, I'm going to stop you to do things that I want to do
when I want to
mess with you.
Because even that thing
like,
too, I was a bit like when you were just talking about even like the options of going on guard and stuff like that. I was like, oh, but that could mean, next turn that therefore if you're on guard though and then nothing happens in that turn. But I was like, no, but wait, then you kind of get automatically, you're kind of on guard next turn as well. So then if your opponent, usually it's like, well, you're going on guard this turn. I'll just wait till next turn, then I'll shoot you for nothing. But it's like, these guys will always be on guard. So if you then have to move to get into the position to shoot them, if you can shoot, like I was like, oh wow, so
it would be a menace into the dark.
Yeah, that's that control option that gives you, like, nearly as it encourages you to be a bit more aggressive and get guys on guard early and start to really shut, like as we talked about, make the game not fun for your opponent.
But like 100, like this team on Into the Dark is going to be so, because literally the first thing you do is open the door for free, move into a room, go on guard with like a plasma gunner or a melter gunner, and then it's like it doesn't matter what happens now.
Yeah,
like you're not opening that door.
I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
You're in trouble. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. And you know what might happen then is I might then reposition when you move to shoot me back. I'm gonna dash out the way.
Yeah.
Unlucky. As long as you haven't dashed to get to that position, which you won't have done, you'll move into position, open the door, go on guard, because that's all you've got. So leave yourself enough dash to be like, okay, I can move here, I can just about see you. Okay, you good? Dash. And they're like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And you're just like, mate, this is a casual game at my house on a Friday night. And you're leaving 2 hours early because I've annoyed you that much with my team. I think it's going to be one of those teams. I know I've upset you. We're no longer friends because I've ran the Spectre Squad.
That's elite fieldcraft defriending. Next up, we've got the Spectre Gunner. We've sort of discussed most of this stuff. We've got the melter gun, the plasma gun. No special rules beyond those standard shenanigans. I think, for me, if some people might go, which is the way to go. I think this team kind of needs you to take the melter because of the versatility you've got with the APL. You can add, and just the threat to elite teams. The plasma gun's great. It's versatile. I'm not saying there's never a situation where it might be good. But the melter gun is just, it'll be the thing that's going to give your opponent the most nightmares for the game. Is where is it? What's it doing? And if it has the plasma gun, it won't quite have that same fear.
I think the fact that when you have a melter gun, you've always got the worry that you're not going to be able to deliver the melter gun.
Yeah.
That's always the worry, that you're like, I'm not going to be able to, because the rules, unless you position this guy where someone can then get a shot on them immediately, which is like, don't do that. Like, don't do that.
Just don't do that.
As long as you don't do that, which you shouldn't need to, you can always deliver the melter.
Yeah.
Like, and again, your opponent gets to decide if you're hitting on 4s and 3s by charging you, but you can't ever stop it firing. And like I say, if someone charges you, you interrupt, and then you do kill it, you then go with the melter.
Yeah.
Like, that's gutting. Like, imagine that would suck so hard, but it's good. But it does mean that the worry about not being able to deliver the melter's kind of gone.
Yeah.
So you don't need to take the plasma and stay back. You can be aggressive with the melter and kind of reliably deliver him, I think.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think melter feels like the first time where I've seen a team, saw the rules and thought, I think I'll always go melter, even if it's like, unless you've decided to play them super long range. I think you can just play aggressive with the melter.
Yeah.
Because you've got ultimate super conceal as well.
Yeah.
Every turn you've got one. So if you want to be like, oh, all I've got is light terrain, to hell with it. I'll race him forward behind light terrain, drop super conceal, and then next turn he's like, there's no reason you can't deliver the melter with this team, which is lovely for people who like delivering
the threat.
melter.
It's just that, like, again, talk at the mind games of this team. It's just your opponent has to be so worried and has to put so much thought into what the melter's doing, where it's doing, that it also is going to give you like space to get other operatives in dangerous spots and do things, because they're, it's like because look over here, and everything else is actually setting up what's going to win the game. But you're worried about the, the melter gun getting to one of your elite operatives too early and deleting an important piece. So very, very, I said it's very cool. It's still, you got to be, as you said, you still got to be careful. Don't put them in a spot that the person just walks up and shoots them 5-up save. 8 wounds.
He's dying after he's done his thing.
Yeah,
like that's it. But at least he's done his thing.
Exactly. All right. Next up, we've got the heavy gunner. Now, this is what operative. From the moment I've seen the rules, I want to like them, but this is the one I know. I think I personally, as someone who's going to be new to this team, I think I'll have the most trouble getting value out of this guy. Whereas I believe a good player will be able to. We'll have a plan with them. So do you want to take us through the heavy gunner? So
Jim Crimmins has said, who do you drop? I think there's an argument for dropping this guy.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I'm listening. But let's go through it. Okay, so it's the heavy gunner. It's your standard profile for everyone else. He's got a last pistol, which I think is a good addition.
Yes.
Because all of his other weapons are heavy. Not heavy dash, not heavy reposition. Heavy, so you're not moving, which kind of makes sense. He's holding a massive missile launcher.
It is the size
of him. It's bigger than him. So he's got a frag, which is a 3-5 blast 2 heavy, and he's got a missile, a crack, 5-7. So they're both 4 attacks hitting on 3s, which is great. 3-5 for the frag, blast 2 heavy, and then 5-7 piercing 1 heavy. Do you know what's crazy?
Tell me.
I'm going to tell you.
Please.
The weapon rules are alphabetized. And in this scenario, and this scenario only, I would not have them alphabetized, because blast 2, heavy, and then the next line is heavy, piercing 1.
Oh.
I would almost have this, like, any movement rule happens first. Like, if it's got a heavy rule,
I would think
that
so.
happens first.
You need to know that first.
So when you're looking down a list, you go heavy, because that's the first thing you reel. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the one scenario in which I would be like,
you come to us to talk about. Other people out there talking about the rules. We're talking about how they're written, not as in what they mean, but how they're laid out and alphabetized on the page.
The alignment of the rules, I would literally categorize them. Hey, they'd be alphabetized within it, so it would be heavy. And then dash would come first.
Yes.
If in a scenario where a weapon was both heavy dash and heavy reposition, in that scenario, you know what I mean? Anyway, so and then he's got fists, 3s hitting on 4s, 2-3 damage. So he's got one rule, which is weapons team. So whenever this operative is activated, if a friendly loader is within its control range, which you don't want to be as a horde team, you really don't want to be in another operative's control range, which is why it's bad. All of the profiles have the heavy dash only instead of the heavy. So the fact that you have to set them up within each other's control range to just be able to dash and shoot is sort of, it's okay, it's fine. It's just that this guy is going to have to be you're not firing this guy turn 1. You can get him up on a vantage turning point 1, and then have a shot, and he's going to be a decent threat. So I don't think it's terrible. I think
5/7's no joke.
Oh no, no.
Hitting on threes.
I think Volkus, it's going to be hard to deliver this guy's shot because I think your opponent will see him on a vantage and be like, I just need to avoid this guy shooting. So I'm just going to avoid this guy shooting. There's a scenario in which case, because it's the medic's skill is 3 inches, you could also have the medic on the same vantage and just be like, hell, I'll get 2 shots with him if you give it to me. You know what I mean? Like I can see that as a scenario, but at that point, the loader's only with him for the beginning, because as soon as he goes loud, you don't want the loader anywhere near this guy.
Yeah.
So I sort of think it's almost pointless running him with the loader. I guess you could have him on the ground and have him like dash out and take a shot. I guess that's the scenario.
That's probably the one.
I feel like this one, like you said, I think the mental load in getting this guy to be able to be delivered is going to be so much more than the entire rest of the team. Trying to deliver a heavy weapon in Kill Team is going to be like, ugh. Like, okay, so I need to have one operative within his control range at all times so that I'm able to dash out and shoot. But the thing is, when we get to the loader, which is next on the list, there is a very fancy thing that he can do, which I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to do it live. I'm going to breeze.
They're a combo. They're a combo. Also, I love that Denaga just
alphabetically, he's behind it.
Called them it's a mental loader, and I'm here for that.
I'm for it, yeah. So the mental loader. So you get this guy within control range. He dashes out and shoots. If for some reason your opponent leaves him alone, okay, great, because your loader can then. He's only got a last pistol.
Yeah.
He can then move within his control range. Move within his control range, and then for one action point, do the load weapon action and make him fire again.
Yeah.
So it is pretty decent. Hang on a sec. This operative cannot perform this action while within control range of an enemy operative while counteracting or during. Oh yeah, so that's fine. It can't shoot and then shoot this weapon. So it's fine. Yeah. So like. He can do it. I just think, again, the mental load of it all, of having to have these 2 operatives run around. I think you'd be much better off using the loader attached to a melter or attached to the sniper. And just, like, I think this was clearly designed for these guys to run in tandem. I just think making this work, like, don't get me wrong, delivering a 5/7 piercing 1, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s twice would be amazing. I just don't think a lot of things survive the first volley. Like if you can get that shot off, I don't think like
a lot has to go right. Like as you were talking about before, if you're clubbing baby seals, that's like this is the easiest of the things to line up. But it's like a good opponent just won't be giving you that. Like I
think that's it. Yeah. A good opponent won't let you get the frag off. Like, if you can dash with this guy and get a frag blast that's worth... Because this guy shoots and then presumably dies immediately.
Absolutely.
Because you've telegraphed the fact that he's right next to a loader. No one's going to be like, I'll leave him alone. Like, no one's letting that guy live to then fire again. Either he's killed everything, he's shot, in which case you don't need to fire him again, in which case you've wasted the loader. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm sort of like, I think...
And the loader's not helping someone else.
Yeah, then he's not helping. So I think him with the sniper's almost better because the sniper's presumably going to be in a high enough spot that he's got multiple targets.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy with only a dash probably only has 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of think... I think the loader, if I'm honest, I would prefer him to be with the melter. Because the melter, as long as he stays within control range, the melter delivered twice with... And again, if this guy's within a control range, you can get a balance roll.
Yeah.
So, you move the melter forward to deliver your punch. Your second activation is your leader. You do the OAP action to make him be able to do it. So maybe someone's like, I'm not going to go for him again.
Yeah.
You then race forward with your loader so he's in control range and then maybe shoot him again. But again... Who's giving you that second shot on the melter? Probably no one. Maybe, again, a lot's got to go right for the loader to deliver
Yeah.
this thing. I think you're much better off racing forward with your heavy gunner, and then you 3 APL the loader, race him right next to him, because they think he's done now. The heavy gunner can't shoot. You race the loader forward and make him shoot with your last APL. I think that's maybe where you get it, but you're still only firing the gun once before he's dead.
Because
basically, I think.
Yeah, heavy gunner could be a good option for the leader's elite field craft as well. Like that's, if you've got so that's it again. If they are going out, they might hopefully get one more shot. Like that might be the better way. That it's like activate them,
maybe
have them shoot. They will have got it earlier from the boss man to say they can go again. Because they have to already be expended, don't they? So it's not like you can go like
they have to be expended.
You can't preempt it and go, the leader's going to give this to him for later in the turn. So you do have to survive. Like a lot of things have to survive maybe longer than is reasonable. There's options there. All of those work. All the ones we just said, they all work. It was actually interesting. Nub the Scrub in the chat just say, wish the heavy gunner and the loader.
The Scrub.
I know, good name, right?
I love that.
Wish the heavy gunner and the loader would group activate, and that I think has some credence. I agree.
I wish it was
you
one
there.
base.
Yeah.
I wish it was the one base with like a little mini diorama of him loading the gun, and then it just had extra wounds.
Yeah.
I would love if this was like a 19 wound operative, but it was 2 guys. I would love that. And then if you go down to half health, you lose some abilities or something. You know what I mean? But like, I would love that. And then it's fine because it doesn't move.
Yeah, because thematically, the whole point here is we know that the loader's meant to go with the missile launcher, but the way the missile launcher works and the way your other, as you said, the sharpshooter, the melter, the way they work, he's just so much better, I think, following one of them around, and it's that, I said the missile launcher is nearly a bit of a, I hope my opponent is so worried about the melter gun they forget about the missile launcher.
Yeah. And you might get away with that. Like it might be the melter distraction con effects that you can shoot this. I think it'll be hard to get a shot off with the heavy gun sometimes. I think the threat, as you say, the threat's going to be the big thing with him.
Could be interesting on something like so Into the Dark or get the missile launcher, have him on guard in a thing and then have the medic just sitting behind him. That then if they do shoot him through the doorway, you just bring him like that's prop for me. That might be a spot where he shines in a big open room where there's lots going on, looking over an objective. That could be pretty cool. Again, the leader's there to potentially give him the eye to go, now you're fired, I'm going to let you fire again. Could be something with that as well.
The best thing about the fieldcraft points is you change the order first.
Yeah.
So you can have this dude just in conceal looking down a doorway.
Yep.
They open the doorway, you're like, I'm interrupting your open the doorway action. After you've opened the doorway, I'm shooting you. You know what I mean? Like the thing is, it's slightly different to guard. You have to target the operative that's doing the action. So they have to make a mistake in a weird way. Like you are capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes here, which is never fun.
No, you could also be in that situation too. If they open the door, could you then frag missile the dude who opened the door, knowing full well they're all bunched up around the door as well? Like you'd still be able to blast.
If they've opened the door, if they've opened the door and engage, then yes, but you've got to really,
they'd have to really not be thinking.
And you'd have to be some sort of person to not tell them, to be like, are you on engage or conceal? You're on engage. Okay. Open the door.
Open the door. See what happens,
brother. Yeah. Knock, knock. Who's there? The end of our friendship.
Cool. I'm loving all these awful things you can do to people. You watch me not pull off any of these moves. Next up, we've got the sharpshooter. This one, I said, look, this is another good operative. You've got lots of profile options. You've got a concealed option, which is the big dog, 4 attacks, hitting on 2s, 3/3, devastating 3. It is heavy, silent, and concealed positions, which basically just means you can only use this silent profile once. So once he goes loud, he then will be having to change his order after that. You do still have the Long Las mobile profile, which is 4 attacks hitting on 3s, 3/4, or stationary, which is 4 attacks hitting on 2s, 3/3, devastating 3, and heavy standard gun butt in close combat. Still a handy operative. And especially because you're getting the double cover save. Once you do eventually go loud, still digging you out of the nest. You know, it's not going to be, if you're in a good spot, it's still going to be hard for your opponent to get you out of there.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before, but it's a solid option.
Yeah. Suits the team. Nothing to write home about. The next one is one of my favorite mainly because from the game I watched you play and the way the choices you were making with this dude.
So fun.
It's the Stub gunner, aka the smart gun from Aliens gunner here.
Yeah.
An interesting weapon. It's got the auto stubber and it's got 3 different fire modes. So you've got focused, which is 5 attacks hitting on 3s, 3, 4, heavy dash only. So at least a little bit of mobility built in. Super shot bolter. You've got, this is the interesting one, I think. The auto stubber suppressive. 5 attacks, hitting on 5s, 0/0 damage, heavy, lethal 5 up, seek light, stun, torrent 1.
All the rules.
So many rules. But this guy basically sticks the gun up over his head without getting out of cover and just sprays everywhere. And he's able to stun operatives. You would be quietly confident on 5 dice you should be able to get at least 1 5+. The Seek Light is very nice as well, just gives it a little bit versatility. Torrent 1 is, again, just funny if you manage to get the old someone within an inch.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting option on a gunner thing and a unique way to deliver stun. And in a team where you're kind of already ruining people's day by interrupting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
To then be able to throw out stun this way as well is quite interesting. So you could literally wait till they move, use this, and that's the end of their activation, effectively, if you get the stun off. For a 2 APL operative.
It can be even better. So it doesn't work on the interrupt, but if you're shooting this gun and you've already dropped, and we haven't gone into them strap ploys, but ambushing volley gives you dev 1. So every hit you make with this gun is also dealing chip damage. So you can be like, so yeah, this gun basically, I'm not going to say it won me the game. Because I'm not going to say I won the game. I'm not going to say I won the game because you have to watch the game. But this definitely, he was my MVP. He was so clutch getting tac op scores for me. Because that's stun. Being able to just end your opponent's turn out in the wilderness is such a fun. I mean, the shooting's good. The only thing I would say is he is heavy on that profile.
Yes,
so you have to know you're going to be using it. Yeah. So that is a profile you have to use. So you have to get him in position to use it. Again, another operative you could use the loader to try and make move.
Could you technically also, if someone charged you, you'd do the guard shooting. Could you therefore stun them after they've charged you, and then they couldn't fight you?
Presumably, yeah. As long as you got, again, you've got to get that 5. You've got to get a 5. Right?
You've got to get a 5.
But if you get the 5,
because imagine that it's like, I've got this big charge off, and they get there, and you're like, actually, I'm just going to spray shots everywhere. Now we're just, and then you can, if you haven't activated yet, you can then fall back for 1 and shoot them normally. Or that's wow.
I mean, it's a fun model. It's a real fun model. You wouldn't be able to fall back and shoot them because it's heavy.
Oh, of course. No, but you could. So, yes, because fallback you couldn't dash. Yes, correct. Okay, but even so, even the fact just being
apart from that, it's still pretty fun.
It's still pretty funny. Yeah. Oh, or just falling back and then leaving that model in the wind to be picked up by someone else.
If you fall back and you're within 3 inches of them, that other rule comes in, which is suppressing fire. Which means if you have an engage order and you're within 3 inches of an operative, they get -1 attack stat on all of their weapons. So you can have this guy like behind a wall, maybe ideally out of line of sight, but just, it has to be visible. So you can have him kind of like visible. To be fair, you can have this guy visible to an operative that's in combat that you then charge, and instead of being 3 attacks, you might be 2 attacks. Yeah. So you could really, like, it's an interesting model. That never came up, but that is an interesting rule. It's quite a hard one. Again, it's what you mentioned before. This team has quite a high mental load to use everything they've got.
That's it.
Like to use everything they've got to
That's
be
a
like,
lot of
okay, I'm going to be within
caveats.
3 inch. Yeah, I'm going to be within 3 inches of you in engage,
Yeah.
shoot that operative, do something else. And now when I charge with this operative, because he's in engage, visible to you within 3 inches, you'll be -1 attack. Like it's to get everything off is going to take a while. They've got layers and layers of rules, but yeah, that's. I mean, it's a fun operative.
Yeah.
Very fun operative.
There is also, I did miss it, the auto stubber does also have the classic sweeping profile, which is 4 attacks hitting on 3s,
Yeah.
3/4, heavy dash, and that's torrent 1. So you've still got, yeah, I mean, look, and again, this is kind of, I think, one of those operatives that kind of will go under the radar a little bit because of the other things you're worried about, i.e. the melter, the missile launcher, the sniper, things like that as the damage dealers. That I think
Yeah.
this guy's, he said he's nearly, instead of like, technically, yes, he can put out damage, but he's nearly just another very interesting utility piece because he's just delivers, potentially, I should say, you've still got to roll the dice, but potentially can deliver that stun at just such a key moment. Like having him set up somewhere on a vantage or on a good bit of a terrain, your opponent walks out, goes to maybe, pick up an objective, so they step out on it so he can see them, he can interrupt, stun them, they can't, get the point. Things like that. The utility of that's big.
If it's loot, yeah, I mean, it's a loot game, secure game. They move to onto like you say, onto an objective that you've scouted. You're in conceal. They don't think you're going to do anything. You flip, you shoot the suppressive fire at them. They're not doing anything, and you're like, oh, that might be like a 2-point swing if it was control 1, control more, and you've got none. They were going to get control 1 and more, and now they can't do anything. No points.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, I think you say the utility of this piece is and that handing out. And again, imagine if you get that torrent. And the thing is, with Seek Light, you might get multiple targets.
And that's it with Seek
1.
Light, exactly. So it's
that would be rough if you got like 2 or 3 targets with a -1 stun. Like, and especially if you'd had the devastating wounds on as well. So then you're like chip damage and -1 APL. That's rough. That's oof, but so fun when you get it done.
Yeah, I think it's I said I could, after watching your game again. Yeah, can't say it enough. Go watch, because there was some great moments that operative and made me go, oh, that's very, like, just there was a few moments where you used it that I was like, that's not how I was thinking this operative was going to play, but that's very, very cool. We come next to the regular Spectre Trooper, so just the same stats as everyone else. Gets the choice between the carbine and the las rifle. Please always take the carbine. The interesting one for this one, a few people said it in the chat, is the trooper worth taking, or asking a question, should you take it? The troopers definitely have a use, because they basically get cool-headed, which is once per turning point. They can do an elite fieldcraft for 0 points. So that is pretty big.
Yeah, it's very good.
Obviously, it's only on this operative. It's not like they give your team an extra one. It is just this operative, but still, again, that versatility, to be able to either defend themselves, to move a little bit further, move on to an objective, lots of different options that they can definitely do.
Yeah.
The one thing I must say, I keep thinking though too, is the one I'll have to keep an eye on for myself as a player. Please, if you're an opponent, keep an eye on this, is with the fieldcraft though, the not moving closer. I think out of habit, a lot of the time you'd be like, oh, I can move here, and think about like move blocking or forward onto objectives. But you do need to remember that, there is that caveat of how you can actually move.
They've got a strap ploy as well, which I think is disappear, which you basically get to do a reposition, but there's a lot of you can't move closer.
Yes.
So it's you can't use it aggressively. It's got to be a defensive thing.
That's it. Yeah.
But it's to get out of trouble. And I think that they've built this in as in you want to get out of melee. But I like the idea of using this guy as the bait.
Yes.
So you put him within 3 inches of safety. So and then maybe, I don't know how you play that off though, because you basically have to put him in a position where he's targetable and pretend like you didn't realize. I don't know. You can maybe do it in a tournament once to each of your opponents. Be like, put him out there because he's a freebie, and then just be like, they go up to shoot him, and you're like, wah, wah.
Yeah,
and that's horrible. But like, you've done it now, and now they learned, but still. So I quite like. I don't know how that would work, but that would be fun to try.
And if you've taken something like crack grenades as well, like that thing of
I was gonna say that's not bad.
They can still be a threat, like enough of a threat that your opponent has to go, well, if I don't deal with the bait, you're still then going to come down here and throw a crack grenade in my face. So it's you can definitely, I said force your opponent's hand there for sure. Take us through the Vox Operator.
I mean, he's an auto take based on the elite fieldcraft points because you get second point if you take this guy. So you will always take him. There's no option. You always take him. He also gets 1 action AP for signal, which is just to give someone that's visible to this operative an additional APL. So I mean, that's great alone, but you take him because you get that, and you get, as long as he's alive, an extra fieldcraft, elite fieldcraft point. But there's nothing else special about him, really.
Is he similar to the Cassican? Now, can you use signal twice here? Is there anything stopping you using signal twice?
No, just the fact that you can only use a single action once.
You can only use it once. Okay, because the Cassican one that you can do multiple, he can do 2 APL, so you can't. Don't get me wrong. If you're worried about APL, we've got something for you coming up next. I was just wondering. Is this the caveat? There you go. So no, okay, because that would have been as good as that now. But as you said, they're still pretty good. So being able to do the signal, as you said, having the option to do the super conceal as well, and just sitting at managing. I was going to say the flow.
Yeah,
and definitely staying alive.
Keeping this guy
this operative alive.
Yeah. Keep this guy alive at all costs. I think you want him in a good position because ideally you do the signal for 1 action point and maybe you do the advanced camo for an additional action point just to make sure you're completely untargetable unless you can, because ideally you want him behind light terrain so you can see everyone, because if he's behind a big wall blocking line of sight, it's going to be hard for him to actually see people.
Do his job,
so behind a bit of light terrain, but like dropping that super conceal, so don't move him that much unless someone charges him, then run him away, obviously. But if you're not moving him, it means you do have the option to run him away as soon as he does get like threatened.
Yeah.
So if someone moves within 2 inches of him, great, just move him because you've not moved him.
I like it. All right. Speaking of APL boost, the last operative, and I'll say that with some parentheses around it, is the Spectre Vox Relay Beacon. It's 1 APL, it can't move, 5 up save, and 3 wounds. So this is an operative that you set up in the operative step, but this operative can be set up outside of your drop zone. It must be set up in a location. It can be placed wholly within your territory and more than 2 inches from markers and equipment terrain features. The operative cannot perform any actions other than signal and cannot counteract, retaliate, or assist in a fight. Damn it, that would have been fun. Getting hit by an antenna. The operative cannot contest. So basically, this operative doesn't count towards kill grades, all those things. So it doesn't really exist. Operatives can move through it. Your opponent can ignore this operative's control range at any time. And when you're doing a shooting range and selecting a valid target, you can ignore this operative's control range. So basically, it's like it's not there. It's a little equipment piece, basically. But what it does, which is handy, signal is its 1 AP action. Select 1 friendly operative within 6 until the end of that operative's next activation. Add 1 to the APL. So,
the only thing different with the Vox Operator, you have to be visible. With this guy, doesn't need visibility. It's just within 6,
which is a pretty big, which is a large bubble. In a good spot. That's a really, really decent sized space it can fill.
Yeah.
It's not going to take much for your opponent to kill it, but at the same time, if your opponent's spending time punching this, that's probably a good thing for you. Because they've probably put themselves in a bit of a dangerous position to get to it or to do something about it. So it's
decent. I mean, it gives you an extra APL. Yeah, absolutely great.
Yeah. So that's it. Now you've got 2 APL sources. So now you can see, you can end your first turn and have 2 guys ready to go next turn with an extra APL each. Start the next turn and sort of boost them up.
Good threat range.
So it's really, 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 really nice. And it's just part of the team. Let's quickly jump in to some strat ploys. We're nearly there. This has been a long app, but this team does have a lot to cover because they're quite complicated. They're quite tricksy. So if you're still with us, hey, thanks. I hope you're getting something out of it. If you're not,
be a long episode.
All right. Strategy ploy first. We've got disappear.
Was it me? Do you hate me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fine.
Awesome. So we're going to disappear. So one friendly operative can immediately perform a free reposition
See, we're not
action.
doing them alphabetically either, then, are we?
Are we? Oh no, I missed. Sorry,
Ambushing.
ambush volleys there.
Ambushing
Sorry.
volley would technically be first,
Sorry.
but whatever.
Sorry, I'm just a man of the reading the
Disappear.
paper. So basically, yeah, you can move up. The caveats here, though, it cannot end that move closer to the enemy operatives or your opponent's drop zone unless it's wholly within your own, and it cannot perform that action again during the turning point in a kill zone that uses close quarters. Ignore walls for determining closer. So
It's quite limiting.
yes, it's very powerful because it's the classic run up, do something, the last activation, potentially get out of dodge. Could be good for like
move them
retrieve or, you know, picking up a marker and making a run.
Really good for retrieve. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, you know, or have, you know, potentially baiting that charge. You know, you've put that operative out that you know that they've been set up. They're all excited next turn. If I get first turn, I'm charging that guy. And then you go, no, you're not. But the caveats being here, of course, that it's defensive. It's not moving up to get your melter closer. Could be sideways. could be still moving across, but just not getting closer. So it could still set up some shots, but you'll have to really be a bit big brain to get that to tick. What alphabetically, Russ, would you like to do next? Do you want to go back to ambushing?
No point now. Let's go to hidden engagement. It's already
I've ruined it. Okay, I've ruined.
You've ruined it now.
Awesome. All right, take us. You can do hidden engagement for us.
So this is another weird one. I don't like these ones because your opponent gets to determine cover lines. But basically, if you are shooting and you're in cover from your target's perspective, then you get the balance rule. Yeah. Your opponent determines where the cover lines are being drawn from. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, there's teams that just get balanced. I don't know why there's so many hoops these days, but yeah, balanced with
caveats.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting in the sense that letting the opponent decide seems like, I mean, maybe is it because they're a victim of the fact that they're already getting to hit on threes? Maybe if they hit on fours, they just get balanced. But is this their way of like trying to cover that it's like you just don't always get balanced, or it doesn't feel like too oppressive with that shooting? But I feel that your opponent drawing the cover lines is a bit weird.
Yeah. Ambushing volley. Let's hit it alphabetically first, but third in our list.
Whenever a friendly operative is activated, if it's more than 3 inches from enemy operatives and isn't a valid target for enemy operatives before determining its order, its ranged weapons, excluding suppressive file, also have the excluding.
There you go. So that doesn't work.
They were on to you. Damn it. There you go. So our plan of making the suppressive stubber devastating one
even worse.
Not happening. Damn. You know what? I still would have been like, you could have had that. I think you could. You still probably would have like 2 damage through. I liked it.
I'm gonna say a big thumbs up to Denaga's pun. Not even a pun, just joke.
Balanced.
Keeps it balanced. Baby, I love it.
So basically this is adding devastating one. Again, quite a few hoops. So let's step them out. So whenever you activate your operative, if you're more than 3 inches away from your opponent, and at the time of the activation, you aren't a valid target for enemy operatives, before you determine the order, its ranged weapons get devastating one.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're,
I think this is,
it's wordy.
But I was going to say, I think you drop it. Yeah.
You're further away. You go further away than 3 inches. At that time, no one can shoot you. Once you change your order, though, it's okay then if you're a valid target. Correct.
Yeah. So I think you drop this turning point too because you're in conceal, presumably 3 inches away from most enemy targets. All your operatives are going to be activated with Dev 1 because you were in conceal, so you weren't a valid target. You then change your order. It doesn't matter if you're now a valid target. It's before you determine your order if you're a valid target. So you get Dev 1 turning 2, I reckon.
Yeah. And I mean, look, again, you've got, with even the las guns, they've got rending. So if you do get that crit, potentially hopefully get a second one.
I think this is why I was going for the lethal 5, because I was like, in my mind, I was like, it'll be easier to get crits, which means it'll be easier to get the Dev 1. But rending's still pretty decent. It means it doubles it. It's double the fun when you get the crit, because then it's double the dev wounds. So both are good.
All right, take us through patience, Russ. This is not in neither of our strong points, but take us through patience.
I give you the cliff notes.
Please.
You can skip an activation, or the last shooting you get relentless.
Okay.
That's basically it.
This is an interesting one, isn't it? Skipping that, or
yeah. So you can skip an activation or take your last shoot or fight action with relentless.
I mean, I do love the idea of a relentless melter because I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
But do I have the self-control to get the melter as my last activation? No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. I think maybe this would be a really fun thing to drop in Turning Point 4. So I think that'd be like, okay, I've only got one operative left. Relentless. Immediately a form of pursuit of relentless. But it's an interesting one.
It's pretty. I was gonna say it's pretty cool potentially, maybe for like your sniper operative or something on a vantage point. But then again, I'm like, say for your sniper, you're already hitting on 2, so that's probably not where you really need relentless. It's maybe your missile launcher if you've set them up all turn, and again you're able to control yourself to the end. But then is your opponent going to give you that shot? I don't know. Yeah, being able to skip an activation is not bad, especially into elites. I think for me that seems quite powerful. Just skipping an activation to really force their hand.
It would be an interesting one, yeah.
I
can see this as being almost like a really weird mind messing where you take you. Oh no, you wouldn't get it then. So I was thinking you would give initiative away, so they go first, and then you skip. So you get 2 CP and spend 1 to skip, so they have to do 2 activations first.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, especially, imagine if you're into elites and Turning Point 2, you win initiative and you're like, you can have it because you've positioned well behind.
Yeah, you're like far enough back.
If you've not given them any shots and you're like, you go, they go, because obviously they activate a fifth of their team and you're like,
go again.
And they're like, you piece of crap. Like, if they have nothing, I imagine how soul destroying that would be to be like, activate again.
Yeah.
I know you've got nothing. Keep going. Yeah. And then you go. And then the next 2 activations they try to do something and you interrupt them.
And then you interrupt the next.
I think I would hate that person. Like, that might almost be worth playing to be like, go, me, you, me, you, me, you, me, and then they're like, I hate you. Oh my god, I hate you. I think that would be actually hilarious.
The most upsetting Turning Point 2 ever.
Oh my god! Do you know what? I had this thought, which I was gonna do. I was gonna buy some loaded dice and just play a battle report and and then be like, preface the battle report by saying, I've got loaded dice. I'm not going to tell my opponent. We're going to see how long it takes them to freak out that I only roll 6s for this entire game, and then see how long. But it's almost like this, but you can do it with the rules of the game.
This is legal. This is in the rules.
I'm going to annoy my opponent the most it can be done without cheating. Here we go. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, because I mean, as you said, like that's pretty mad. Like, yeah, that into elites. I said, and I feel like that could be like, because also and then too, like you've got, as opposed to trying to stall for 6 operatives, you're only trying to stall for 4. And then you're really getting them into real like, oh, now I have to do the moves. Like, and you've got a few operatives we know like at the back that you can be like, oh, my leader's going to go and he's going to do like. You've got operatives you can do things with, but not put in danger, to really just go, well, show me your hand. What are you going to do? And now I'm going to set everyone else for Turning Point 3 around what I know you want to do, which is awesome.
I think if your opponent ever plays KG and it's elites, they play 2 KG. Yeah. They haven't come to the mid board yet. And you get initiative. You give them initiative, and then you just play this and be like, color drains. They're like, I hate you. I hate you. That would be hilarious. I'd love to see that game.
I'm just not gonna play the game.
I hate that game. If you play in that tournament and you get that off, please.
I'm gonna do it once just to be a jerk of my opponent's face.
Take a picture of the person's face. Yeah, take a video of me like, this is me. This is him after I've just done this. Oh, I'd love that.
So I mean, look, they are okay ploys. I said
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think disappear has some real utility, but you've got to remember it's defensive. Patience is interesting. I know for myself, if I play that patience one, 90% of the time it just means some idiot at the end of my turn with a las gun's going to get relentless because I'm going to forget to use it.
I know. Yeah. None of these feel ridiculously powerful. Like none of them are like, wow. They're just like interesting. Like that. But I think that's how it should be, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, the team already hits on 3s, so it's just increasing the things they do. Jumping into firefight ploys, we'll kick off. We've got dodge, and this is where we start to see some of the versatility or the reactivity of the team to survive with stuff here is in these firefight ploys. So with dodge, use this firefight ploy against a friendly operative before or after it performs an action. During that activation, this operative can perform the fallback action for 1 less AP. Fallback for 1 AP. Awesome.
Great.
You don't want to be in combat. You never do. Fall back and shoot. Fall back and do an action. Fall back, have a drink, whatever you want. It's a good one.
I mean, it's for a team that doesn't want to be in combat. Perfect. That's what you want. You want a get out of jail. Yeah.
Tell us about those silent killers, Russ.
Dem silent killers. So this is one you play during a friendly operative's activation before or after it performs an action again. If it has a conceal order and isn't a valid target for an enemy operative, until the end of that activation, it can perform the charge action while it has a conceal order. But there's more. The first time it strikes, you can inflict 3 additional damage, but you can't resolve any other successes during that sequence, which does mean your opponent will then resolve their successes.
Punch the noodles out of you.
Yeah, so you use this basically when you've got an opponent that has 6 wounds or 5 wounds left. If you've got the leader, maybe 7 wounds, and you just pray for a crit. Realistically, you want 6 wounds, and you want your leader hitting on 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3, 4. You go in, conceal because you can still hide. You then charge, hit once, run this, and then you've basically 1 hit kills them, 6 wounds. I think that's really good because you're not an aggressive team, and this makes you a 1 punch, a range between 5 and 7 damage that you can do across the team. That's pretty solid on a 1 hit. You only get the 1 hit, so you have to save it. But I think that's
picking
really
up
good.
A Space Marine, the last 5 wounds. Then staying in not just that, but then it's the ability to stay in conceal after doing it as well.
I think it's a great little thing for them to have as a non-melee team. The way to get extra that, like with dev wounds, just giving them chip damage. But in this case, obviously, it's quite a lot of chip damage, and it comes with another punch. So 5 to 7 damage is pretty solid.
It's interesting. I was just looking as well. Uses firefight, but technically, it doesn't say that you're using the fight action, which you are. I know rules as intended. But it's like the first time you strike, I was like, that's it saying you're using fighting. But I was like, technically, if someone was some kind of rules lawyer, you could be a real jerk about this one and be like, well, actually, I haven't fought. It's just...
Do you know what? Do you know what I never want to see ever in the world? I don't want to see the Spectre Squad play into the Spectre Squad. I don't want to see this mirror match. I think that will be the worst game of Kill Team ever.
The deadly dance of boredom.
Imagine what happens. You run silent killers. You charge into someone. They interrupt you and fire you with a melter. You've lost that CP. Like because you haven't struck, but you have to play it after it performs a charge. Oh no, actually it says before or after it performs an action. But I guess you'd have to perform it before your strike action. So I guess you wouldn't spend it, would you?
Yeah, so I guess technically because it's like, so you would have done the charge. Yeah. They've interrupted, so therefore you wouldn't have spent the CP.
You wouldn't play it.
But it's still interesting. I didn't think about that. That would be really, it's like, ha. It's just everyone doing
this game would be horrible into each other. The mirror match of this game will
Can you do one on your channel, please? I will watch it.
Oh my God. Never. That would be so annoying. Anyway, sharp reactions. Take us through sharp reactions.
All right, so use this firefight ploy for after an enemy operative that has a conceal order performs an action during its activation. if it's within 8 inches of a friendly operative. You can use the elite fieldcraft rule to interrupt that activation with that friendly Spectre operative, regardless of that enemy operative's order. So basically, you still have to, unlike me trying to always get extra fieldcraft points, you still have to spend one. But effectively, if they're in conceal, you can still do it, which is huge.
Yeah.
Because that's the
So
thing
that's
too. Don't forget that.
Field off. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we didn't highlight that enough. That your opponent has to be in engage for fieldcraft to work. This is a workaround, which is really, really big. So
you get that one chance per turning point to save a CP to interrupt someone who's in conceal. It's going to be hard though. But if they've got, for example, an operative that can charge from conceal, this be quite key then, because obviously they can charge from conceal. You can't Overwatch shot them. But if you keep this, you can, obviously.
Yeah. And even again, like we talked about too, that versatility of using this to reposition a melter somewhere, like using this, like an operative moves up with a silent, like a silent weapon that was going to take a cheap shot at a melter or something, dash into cover or dash out of firing range. There's still some, like this for a CP covers a hole nicely, and I reckon you're always keeping a CP up your sleeve for this one, especially against teams trying to get up in your grill for sure.
I mean, like Pickle Eric says, within 8 is generous, and
it is.
I think it's exactly to cover a charge from conceal, basically.
Yeah, I feel so. Yeah,
so that you can't be charged. I think all these CPs so far, if you're Firefight ploys, and even the next one that we haven't covered, are basically to cover the fact that you're not good in combat.
Yeah.
Because when we get to the next one,
take us through the next one.
Prepared defense, which is great. I mean, it's a great one. It's a great for a bad team in combat. So you use this Firefight ploy when an operative that has a conceal order or is ready is retaliating. So again, caveats to it. You've either got to be always in conceal or what you call it,
or he's ready but retaliating.
You're ready. You haven't activated yet. Yeah. So at the start of the resolve, you can do one of the following. So at the start of the resolve attack die step, you can resolve one of your successes before the normal order, but it must be a block. Or you can, when you can block 2 unresolved successes instead of 1. You can't use this in an interrupt. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how you would.
Yeah, because you're technically always retaliating.
You wouldn't be retaliating, So I don't know how that would.
There obviously is a workaround, or they're worried someone is going to find it.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but I think you're right. They figured someone will do it anyway. But so it's great. I mean, if quite a lot of teams that aren't combat are going to see you as an easy combat target. So they'll be like, you know what, I'm not a melee operative, but I can probably hang with you guys in combat. I'm going to charge in with 4 attacks hitting on 3s. I get 3 hits. I hit once, you double parry the rest. Yeah. And I'm like, oof. All of a sudden, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Or they hit once or hit twice. You've got a crit and they're doing like 2-5 damage, or you just need to get rid of that crit. Parry first.
That's it. Yep.
It's really good. And again, all the Firefight ploys that make up to the fact that the team isn't good in melee. And I think that's a good choice, because when you need them, you're really going to need them. But you don't need them all the time.
They're also, in a great way, as Firefight ploys should be, they're reactive too. So you're kind of getting to look at it and going, okay, you've moved close. Okay, sharp reactions is the one I'm going to get out of dodge early, or I'm going to get rid of that concealed charge. Prepared defense. You got me. I didn't have the fieldcraft point, but I might still be able to survive this. And then in my own activation, sneak away for one AP. Silent killers is great. That ability to hopefully pick up or do some cheeky damage that way. Dodge, again, is getting you that ability to fall back. It's all very reactive, which is good. So you can plan around.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
I think, honestly, that is the word. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think this team is the most reactive kill team that's ever been.
Yeah.
Their entire shtick is you do something. Okay, what am I going to do about you doing something? Am I going to stop you doing something and do something else? Like it's crazy. So I think it'd be quite a fun team. I don't know if you like. I mean, I always like reacting to my opponents, but this is the first team that's actively reacting, which seems crazy to say. It sounds like nuts. Active reaction, but it's what you are. It's a crazy team.
You're wanting to see what your opponent does. Let's go.
Yeah, and then you're forcing their hand and then interrupting them anyway.
Yeah,
I love
faction
it.
Equipment. You're correct. Come on, we've had an epic chat here. This is fantastic.
I
Sniper
think this
Overwatch.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best
Schmidt.
equipments going.
Yeah.
Anyone on the team has a silent 4 attacks, hits on 3s. I don't know why I said it so much weirdly, but hits on 3s. Still, 3/3 Dev 2. It's heavy dash only, which is fine, but anyone on the team can have a silent weapon.
Yeah.
That's amazing. This ties in with them being a great team for scout enemy movement.
Yes.
I think I use this every turn because you scout every turn and then you just take a pop shot at someone.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great, and 4 attacks hitting on 3s, 3/3 Dev 2.
Dev 2.
That is a phenomenal shot into a an elite.
Yep.
That's chip damage on an elite, and you're doing that every turn.
Yep.
Every turn, if they give you a silent shot, you're taking it.
Yep.
So good.
And this is what this team is. You know, when you look at a lot of their stat sheet earlier, like their operatives, there's not. I've said apart from the sniper, everyone else has to go loud to use their weapons and inflict damage.
Yeah.
This is that workaround once per turn, which, you know, again, if you're managing it, you're shooting these early. Yeah, you're marking targets using in conjunction. It's such a great thing. And against 8, 7, 8, 9 wound teams, 3/3 damage with devastating too is massive.
Yeah, that's pretty good shooting. That's better shooting than quite a lot of shooting teams, and that's equipment.
Yeah. Take us through the T-vid feed triangulation.
I mean, very, very cliff notes. If someone else if an enemy operative is also a valid operative for another member of the squad, or it's within 6 inches of the Vox relay beacon, you can get a non-obscured shot. So you have to set it up. So if you're taking a shot at someone, another operative has to be able to be they have to be a valid target for them. So you have to set it up. I tried to set it up, but couldn't, because it takes 2 turns to set up. Basically, you can't just have it. But you know, with vantages, someone behind light, you should always have someone but you know, it's just availability of light if you'll be able to get it or not. So hard to set up, but decent.
Yeah.
And again, with everyone having access to a silent Overwatch, I mean, it's great. It's great, really.
Yeah.
You can have people up there.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's, as Valentine said, that the caveat is a valid target for another friendly unit. Meaning, would that mean, let's, again, for those playing at home might be newer to the game, if I have a sniper on a vantage point, they're in conceal, would they still be considered, like, for my team then, that if they could see someone that's a valid target, or did they have to be in engaged to be?
No. Even if you've got an operative that has, it doesn't even have to be within range of the weapon.
Yep.
They just have to be like, you select a target before you choose a weapon profile. So you could have someone who's on a vantage that's in conceal that only has melee weapons, can see someone behind light. They're a valid target technically to that operative. Anyone can then do it.
Yep. So I mean, it opens it up a little bit, which is really good.
Yeah.
And again, think Volcus, lots of ways to get those guys up and operatives up on those vantage to give you some really good line of sight.
Yeah.
So the Vox relay, the 6 inches of the Vox relay is funny. I'm like, I wonder how often, if ever, that one comes up. I was like, it might. I mean, it is, again, it's 6 inches. Again, that bubble, and it's not line of sight. For the Vox relay, it's just within 6 inches.
It's just within.
So you
could put it behind a wall and be like,
take that back.
It's not bad.
Eat my words. All right, the Star Shell Flare. One friendly Spectre operative can immediately perform a free stun grenade action. Performing this action using this rule doesn't count towards its action limits, i.e. if you also selected that grenade from equipment. When enemy operative's APL stat is changed as a result of the strategic gambit, you cannot use it for the rest of the battle. I really like that you only lose it when it works. I really like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's solid. You don't really need to talk much about it. It is a strategic gambit phase stun grenade, which is solid. And
that's strategic gambit. Sorry, that's a big highlight, isn't it? Sorry, I glossed over that.
They move forward. Yeah, so they move forward. You're not even spending an action point to do it. You're just like, there, stun grenade. Maybe I get a couple of people. Great. Now it's my turn to activate. I mean, yeah.
So effectively, awesome. You can be starting the turn, having done the strategic gambit. You can effectively neuter one of their Alpha Strike units, or they've got a melter or a weapon. You can be like, as a strategic game, I'm going
As
to
long
try.
as you're, yeah, as long as you're able to throw the grenade at them, you
Yeah.
can do it. Which it's another reason why you'd send someone out there,
Yeah,
because then you can
that's that
hell if
bait
they
unit, isn't it?
decide to move to target, yeah, dash away.
You know,
Yeah.
that's thing. If you know what your opponent, and they've set up their first move, they've and
Yeah.
especially too, you might know the order of operations too. You're wanting to do something so you can do something else, and this stalls that for a turn or slows it down so you can
Yeah.
do something else. That's very very
Hell,
interesting. Yeah, give them initiative, stun them, patience, counteract. Pickle Eric just
oh
said.
my god! Hey, it gets even better.
Well done, Pickle Eric. Correct.
What you could do is give them initiative, star shell flare them. You then use disappear, run away.
Yeah.
Then you use patience.
Yeah.
Then they're like, well, what the hell do I do now? I quit. I hate you. I quit. I hate you.
Never play this
You know what I mean?
game
Like, ah.
oh yes, I mean
Awesome.
that's
Love
an
it.
issue. And again, the good thing too in doing it, you don't lose anything by trying it. You know, and it kind of be like
No.
the initiative. Geez, in a perfect world, if I can stun that guy, I can now do this. But if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
well, then I know I need to deal with like it can help you just work out that order of operations for the start of the turn.
Yeah.
So I really like it. Take
A
us through
free
it.
stun every turn potentially until you get it.
Yeah.
You know, great. Advanced camo.
camouflage.
I mean, it's very solid. You just get super conceal until the start of the operative's next activation. It costs 1 AP, so obviously bear that in mind. You need to actually spend an AP to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it while you're with the visible and within 3 inches of an enemy operative.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, but I think you'll be spending this on the guy at the far back to keep him safe.
Yep.
Or if you've got a sniper up on the vantage and you've run out, you've what you call it, you've taken a shot, or you've got someone you're worried about them. I don't know. It's great to keep someone super safe if you're worried they've got Seek or Seek Light.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Teams that have it, like that's probably a good way to look at it. Yeah, it's like how can you do even like moving operatives onto objectives and then keeping them safe within light terrain and things like that as well is fantastic. Like just making it that they just can't do a Seek Light and pick them up. Like but it's gonna you're trying to dictate that your opponent will have to deal with them like in close combat or getting super close. Like again, it can just help dictate that flow a little bit.
I think you keep it for your Vox guy because you want to keep him alive.
Of course, yeah.
I've been using it on him.
But it's also it's not just once per turn. Like any operative can use. You can have lots of operatives could use that. They just need to spend the APL. Correct? It's not a once per unit per turn or anything like that.
I think it's once per turn, isn't it?
Friendly
one operative per turn.
No,
I thought it was once per.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's just they all get access to it.
I think they can all use it.
Oh wow!
Friendly
I thought
operatives,
it was,
excluding the beacon, can perform the following action. Yeah, there's no amount.
That's good.
Yeah,
everyone gets access to a super conceal for just one action point.
Because as you said,
really
yes,
good.
if it was just one, you would always use it on the guy at the box guy.
That's better than I thought it was. Yeah.
All of a sudden, 2-3 different units that you might have staged aggressively, and then to be able to just go, yep, they've climbed up in a spot, advanced camouflage, just to set up for that turn. That's pretty cool. I think for me, the sniper Overwatch is obviously auto include. I think advanced camouflage is also auto. What do you think of tri-feed TVID feed
it's the one I would drop.
Yeah. And star
the TVID one
flare.
is the one I'm dropping. I think I'm always taking the star cell flare.
Yeah.
I think it's too nice to be able to stun someone when they're not anticipating it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you've got multiple times where you could use it. I think realistically you do get it at least one turn.
I think so.
And the thing is, I think you ideally you get a turning point 2, and that's the dream. They've staged maybe 2 things, and you stop one of those things happening, so you know where you're going to spend your elite fieldcraft points to stop the other one happening.
Yep.
And then you don't need to spend it over there. So I think that's the dream. And if they don't play aggressively into you, and you only have to defend one flank, it's amazing. Then it's just like bam, I'm done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd take that every time. I think the TVID thing, because you have to have already set up. Again, it depends on the deployment. If you get that Vulcus with the high thingy and you've got the sniper up in the top room, maybe that's great. The problem is there's not a lot of light on Vulcus, so it's going to be hard to be able to say I could shoot that person.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's exactly right. It's already kind of difficult in the first place. Yeah.
So it's great to get non-obscured, but it's a hard way to get non-obscured. I think you maybe want to take something else instead. I don't know, like maybe take crack grenades. Again, if you're into elites and you're worried that they might eventually get rid of your melter, which they will do, they'll eventually get rid of the melter. You're saving on 5s. You might whiff a roll and then they kill it. Being able to have so many people with 3 APL, being able to move, dash, and deliver a crack, or move, bob a point, deliver a crack is pretty decent. Like, it's decent enough to have a couple of cracks in there. Or, yeah, to be honest, it's a decent sized team. You might need barricades or a heavy barricade in deployment.
Yeah, and knowing you technically get the free one from your other operative, it's kind of good. It's probably, as you said, the guide's going to give you one, but that has to be normally, that's like one of the barricades or barbed wire or something, or an ammo cache, isn't it? Like that is
or
ammo
cache, or like the equipment terrain stuff, like ladders and stuff. Maybe not ladders. I don't think it's ladders actually, but it's the barricade stuff.
Barricade, barricade variety. And that's it. And then you go, you're probably dropping probably one of these, because again, potentially it could be a very interesting team again to have it crack grenades into elites, but maybe stun grenades into some other teams as well, to be really, again, just another way to really, between the guy who can do stun grenades, wreck a crew or something like that could have a bit of a bad day if you just keep.
I think that's a good shout, because you get a smoke grenade and the crack frags with the Grenadier, but he does get the stun. So you get, if you take some stuns as well, I mean, then you can do it from conceal as well. That's even better, because if you're scouting enemy, move, throw a thingy for 3 APL, throw a stun. Yeah, that could be a really annoying team to handle if they're stunning a lot.
So everything about them is annoying.
If they move towards you, and if they move within control range of someone else, and you're just like, I'm going to stun you before you get to do the thing you wanted to do, get him as well. Yeah. And that could be good. I think I would take stuns instead of that. That might be really annoying. Then your opponent has to think about it, like, oh, I can't position there. Then you increase their mental load, because they're like, I can't position here because they'll interrupt and stun me and get him. So I've always got to be outside of there. Yeah. And then it's annoying. And again, this team is built to be annoying for your opponent. From the ground up.
They just have a lot of things that are annoying. Like, again, like we sort of didn't gloss over it, but the Grenadier's got the melter mine as well. So think about, all of a sudden you've put that on the middle objective or something as well. And then all of a sudden you've just got like all these things to worry about. There's a melter mine, so I can't move here. If these guys bunch up, I could get stun grenade. Oh, he can stun me at the start of the, like, it's a lot of a mental load for you as a player, but I think accidentally you will be burning your opponent's brain out too, because they have so many things to ask you. Can you do this? What if I do this? If I move here, what will you do? Like, every turn will start with, what will you do to me if I do this? And it's like, an interesting
Can I do this? Will you let me? Will you let me do this? And it's like, I'll allow it. Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay.
Carry on. All right. So
it's like,
last thing we've got to do, just very quickly, we'll just cover. So we talked equipment and what were the ones we think. We've covered all the things. Just very quickly, in terms of the operative selection, it is technically in the box, the Terror of Devlin, you are getting the ability to build every specialist effectively. But therefore, if you do that, you are missing out on building a regular trooper. And that's a little bit of a shame that you can't build one, because there is definitely some value in a regular trooper. We talked about the options being probably the medic is one of the options. I think matchup dependent, if the medic has more value than a regular trooper having the extra fieldcraft. I do really like the medic on like Into the Dark and stuff, where you can be really just staging with, your missile launcher or a gunner in a doorway. That could be really, really annoying.
I think late game you're going to be not on Into the Dark. You're going to be he's going to be needing to move, dash to get people, and like you're saying, on a 5-up save with 8 wounds, most things will just die.
Yeah. And someone did say that in the chat earlier. They're like, but most things are just going to be dead. Like, you're not
most things are just dead.
You're not going to be healing.
Like, the only thing he's good for is the literally stage him next to a gun that you want to survive. Yeah. They shoot the gun, you bring a gun back, the gun dashes away, or the gun stays put, and then your loader turns up and makes it fire again. But then you are giving your opponent a blast target of 2. So it's sort of like, how much do you want it? It's going to be game dependent, but Is
that extra shot that the loader gets you, is it going to kill the thing that could potentially blast? But again, also all that the combo of the missile launcher in a doorway with the medic next to him and the leader just further down the hallway going, oh, you've expended, I'll give you the fieldcraft interrupt here as well. You know, like again, that on Into the Dark, that could be very, very frustrating for your opponent.
Be great.
Yeah.
I think you've convinced me that I think the medic might be a drop actually. Because having 3 fieldcraft points does feel really strong, especially if you're giving them the stun grenades as well to be able to post and like Pickle was saying, if like I like the idea of just running a guy forward because you will, I mean, against elites it's going to be horrendous, but you can run forward at the end of the last turn, the end of the first turn to maybe have target on someone that they've rushed forward.
Yeah,
it's then your activation. You, again, as you said, you give them an initiative, you then stun them, and then you can still run away in the same strategic phase.
And you've lost.
And then if
they
move to shoot, it's just. And then if they charge you for free, you can shoot back in close combat. And if you know you're dead in that combat, you're like, but I've got a better chance of putting 4 damage through shooting.
Yeah.
Or like if you've already, I mean, there's reasons why you might. I don't know. It's just, it's decent. It's a
the
decent
other option too is like you let them charge that guy. You don't use your fieldcraft there. Let that guy die. Then you use your fieldcraft because they've just finished the fight action with a better gun, i.e. a missile launcher. That then... So
I mean,
like that's the thing I know myself. I'm going to struggle to get my head around is sometimes I was like, it's not just reactive in here. Like you get to be reactive with your team. Like as long as, you know, if you set that up correctly, that can be a real pain in the ass.
It's I think it's going to be a team that's going to be tricky to set up, but I think and getting everything out of them is going to be tricky.
Yes,
it's going to be a team you need because, like I say, that Stubber's rule being in engage within 3 inches, they lose an attack die. It's going to be hard to remember that.
I can tell you this.
I think that
never coming up for me.
Never gonna, even if it's valid, 90% of your games, you remember 1% of those games. I think.
So I think the medic's probably the one that cops the benching the most. But I mean, again, probably. And I think
the heavy gunner.
That's it. The heavy gunner's the other one.
Maybe.
The only reason I would say potentially not the heavy gunner is it's just the threat versus I don't think they'll ever do anything. I don't think he'll ever. Maybe might shoot once for the game.
Very. Yeah,
it's even elites need to respect 5/7.
that's. I mean, that is anything. 4 attack again. If it was hitting on 4s. But it's not. It's hitting on 3s. So that's rough. That it's 4 attacks hitting on 3s, 5, 7, piercing 1. Like that's got to be a target.
And then even if you charge him, then he's hitting on 4s, but it's still 5/7, AP 1. Like you could still if you roll hot, like you could rinse most things that are going to be charging into you. Do you know who probably works around it a little bit? The Goremongers, because they'll be like, well, I'm just going to take what's their max damage cap out at? 8 wounds. That's
8 damage. No
matter what.
That's not bad, actually. That's an interesting.
I reckon Goremongers will be an interesting counter to this team. Goremongers and Felgor, I think, in particular, because unlike they don't have the elites limit of bodies, which you can really play against with this team. They've got a decent amount. If Felgor, you need to kill them twice, or Blood. The Goremongers, you need to shoot them twice.
You kill them in combat or shoot them twice. Yeah.
But interesting. But so I reckon, so for me, it's probably the medic, but everyone else, building the rest of the specialists, it seems pretty good. And even if you just build all the specialists and you take the medic, it's not a bad thing. He's still a regular trooper. You're just missing out on that extra, the field craft, which is really nice. That's what the strength of this team is. That's the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go. No, we have talked for a very long time, but to be fair, this team is very complicated and there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in this team.
Good luck to me.
It deserved the 2 hours.
Yeah, good luck to me. Absolutely getting rinsed with these guys as I tie myself. I'm going to field craft myself into oblivion, I think. A huge thank you to everyone in the chat. As always, we love having everyone in there shooting the nonsense with all of us. Thank you to Naga, Jim Cribbins, Nub the Scrub, Pickle Eric, Denaga. There's a whole bunch that's over there on YouTube as well. We had Leaks joining in. We had John. We had Not Emperor Palpatine. Bramble Scratch was in there. We had a whole bunch, all the legends. If you are listening on the podcast, we do really, really appreciate it when you get the opportunity to join us live on Twitch or YouTube. If not, thank you for lending us your ear holes here. We really, really love having you joining us. Thank you, as always, to Russ from GFN Gaming.
I appreciate it. It's been lovely to chat. 07s in the chat. It's been
drone
lovely
there.
to talk. It's been it's been a while since we've had an episode, so it's great to be back.
Yes.
We had our time away, but it's been lovely catching up, buddy.
Definitely.
And that's catching up with you, Reese, from Threes to Wound.
Stop it. Make sure too, if you want to see more about the team, head over to GFN Gaming. The bat rep with the Spectre Squad versus the Mandrakes. It's a great matchup, is up now. So I reckon, hey, you're done, you're still painting, you're still hobbying, you're still on a long drive. Don't watch the video, just listen to the audio in that case. But chuck it on. Safety first. But yeah, we love having you all here. We'll see you next week. Maybe.
Catch you guys later.